beautiful day for a ball game today. The fans are out to get a ticket or two. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful day for a home run, but even a triple's okay. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today.
For your enjoyment, Dodger Baseball is on the air. Brought to you by Datsun, who would like to remind you that it's a long way to empty in a Datsun. A long way. By Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. By Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. And by Farmer John, the only packer who provides you with strictly fresh Eastern corn-fed pork and pork products. For only he brings the porkers out here live and dresses the meat fresh right here locally. Farmer John. This broadcast is produced by the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated, who also employ the announcers. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ross Porter, along with Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett at Dodger Stadium for today's game between the Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. And the Dodgers are still in the pennant fight in the National League West as a result of their exciting come-from-behind 3-2 10-inning victory here last night, which means the Dodgers now trail the Astros by 2 games with 2 to play in the regular season. This afternoon, 17-game winner Jerry Royce for the Dodgers will be matched by 11-game victor Nolan Ryan of the Astros in this battle before a sellout crowd in Los Angeles. Here are the lineups for the Astros. Joe Morgan will lead off at second base. Enos Cabell will be at third. Jose Cruz in left field. Cesar Cedeno in center field. Art Howe at first base. Gary Woods will be in right field, batting sixth. Rafael Landistoi at shortstop. Alan Ashby will do the catching. And Nolan Ryan, 11-9 with an earned run average of 3.37 to pitch. Ryan 0-1 against the Dodgers this year. They beat him here July 10th, 4-3, scoring 2 in the 9th inning to beat him. He has 4 no decisions against the Dodgers, so for Noli, his 6th start of the year against L.A. He is 1-7 lifetime against the Dodgers, but of course many of those were way back in the early 70s when he was still a member of the New York Mets. In fact, his only win against the Dodgers came way back on June 23rd, 1968. When he pitched the Mets to a 5-4 win over Bill Singer and the Dodgers. For the Dodgers, Davey Love leads off at second base. Rick Monday again will be in right field. Dusty Baker in left. Steve Garvey at first base. Ron Say batting fifth at third. Pedro Guerrero will be in center. Joe Ferguson will do the catching. Darrell Thomas will be at shortstop. And Jerry Royce will pitch. 17-6 overall with an ERA of 2.58. Royce 3-0 against the Astros this year. 2 of those in relief. Once as a starter here in July, right after the All-Star break, when he won 3-2, but did not allow a run in 7 innings of work. And now from Dodger Stadium, Jim Updegraff to sing our national anthem. for the start of this afternoon's game right after this word.
California, when we say Datsun 210, what do you see?
I see a sporty Datsun 210 hatchback, 29 mpg for me.
I see a family wagon that gets better city mileage than some wagons get on the highway.
I see myself sitting pretty in a Datsun 210 sedan. It's Datsun's lowest priced car.
Come see yourself in a Datsun 210. Sedans, hatchbacks, wagons, all standard 5-speed models are EPA estimated 29 mpg top city driving, 41 mpg highway. Use 29 mpg for comparison. Your mileage may differ. Highway mileage will probably be less. Compare value. Compare quality. And remember, every one of these Datsuns gets better gas mileage than 280 other cars.
That's my Datsun.
It's a long way to happy. In a Datsun, we are living.
A long way to give you the widest choice of high mileage cars.
The Dodgers take the field before another rousing ovation this afternoon. And to a man, they said last night after their thrilling win over Houston that the crowd had a lot to do with it. They got them fired up, and they were able to come back to win it in the 9th and 10th innings. And now they're going to have to do it again this afternoon, again tomorrow, and then in the playoff on Monday afternoon if they are to be the National League West champions. But exciting baseball, and we expect one again this afternoon as Jerry Royce opposes Nolan Ryan, the man who made his fame down the freeway in Anaheim with the Angels in the last decade. The umpires today, Jerry Crawford will call balls and strikes. Doug Harvey will be at first base, Andy Olson at second, and Nick Colosi at third. Tomorrow's scheduled pitchers, Bert Hooton for the Dodgers and Vern Rule for Houston. And remember, an early starting time tomorrow, 12:15. That means broadcast time on KABC and the Dodger Radio Network on Sunday, 11:55 in the morning. All right, here we go again. Hard to match last night, but the Dodgers and Astros may do it. Time to play ball, and now for the play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
Thanks, Ross, and hi, everyone. Well, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. The Astros and the Dodgers in a Texas shootout again here at Dodger Stadium. Joe Morgan stepping into the batter's box. Left knee hurt last night when he turned, tried to go back to first base on a pickoff maneuver. And later on, he had to leave the ball game, and that might have been a big one because Landeskog kicked a ground ball in the 9th inning that led to a Dodger run. Here's the fastball in high from Royce, 1 ball and no strikes. The Dodgers winning it in 10 last night, in case you missed out on that. Joe Ferguson's leadoff home run in the 10th. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike to little Joe. Morgan, with his left knee heavily taped, said, "There's no way you can keep me out of there. I'll give it a try." And he, like several of the Dodger ball players, wouldn't want to miss this one for anything. This is what they've been playing for all the way. So Morgan hitting .248, 11 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Time called as Royce is into the windup, and Morgan backed out. Royce, against the Astros this year, is 3-0. He got 2 wins in relief and 1 as a starter. Has a fastball taken low, and it's ball 2, 2-1. He had no decision in his last start against the Astros on September the 9th, a game the Dodgers lost 5-4. 2-1 pitch, low and away again, ball 3. The secret to Royce's successful year has been his very good control and the fact that he could throw low strikes with the fastball. Now he's gone to a 3-1 count. Here's the windup and the pitch to Morgan. And it's in there for a strike, 3-2. Royce on the year has walked only 39 batters in 220 innings. He's like Force. Force had walked only 41 in 223 innings. So actually, Royce has a little better percentage than Force does. All right, Morgan waiting, 3-2, the windup and the payoff pitch to the first batter. He's low with it, ball 4, and Morgan is on with a walk. So Morgan going to first base as Royce has been a control pitcher all year, walks the first batter he faces. Here's Enos Cabell at bat. He's a local boy. Now makes his home in Anaheim Hills, hitting .275 with 2 home runs and 55 runs batted in. Morgan at first base may not try to run with that bad knee, but if he does, he's been successful at 24 out of 30. So Morgan is on. Last night he got on a leadoff error. The Astros left the bases loaded in the first inning, left 2 on in the second inning, and 2 more in the 4th inning. And wound up a buck short. Here's a foul back to the screen, strike 1. As Cabell went for the curveball and ticked it back foul. Cabell has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games at a .360 clip. And he's hit safely in 7 out of 9. 11 for 37. Enos Cabell, tall and lean, good glove man. Steady ball player. On deck is Cedeno. Or is it Cruz on deck and then Cedeno? Here's the pitch. Line over second to right center field for a base hit. Morgan goes to second base and stops there. And holding at first base is Cabell with a single into right field. Now it's Jose Cruz coming on. Cruz batting in the number 3 spot, and Cedeno will be out on deck to bat 4th. Cruz is hitting .308 with 10 home runs, 72 RBIs. So quickly the Astros have something on the fire. 2 on, a walk and a single to begin the ball game here. Here's the pitch from Royce, a swing and a miss, strike 1, and quickly in the Dodger bullpen, Rick Sutcliffe gets up and starts the throw. Sutcliffe pitched a big game against the Astros in relief earlier in the year. Royce has been bothered a bit with a tender elbow, and he's pitching with only 3 days rest. He delivers low for a ball, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Dodgers in a kind of a bind. Royce pitched in San Francisco, and he worked 6 innings in that game, allowed 2 runs and 7 hits. They had to move him up a day because Bobby Welch couldn't go. Here's a strike, 1 and 2. Welch is apparently through for the season. Bobby has a groin injury, and even if the Dodgers were to make it to the playoffs, Welch would not be on the active list. They would probably replace him with Valenzuela. All right, a 1 and 2 count, but the first thing is the Dodgers have to get there before they can even think about that. The 1 and 2 pitch on the way to Cruz. Popped up, and backing up is Darrell Thomas. Infield fly rule is on. Darrell waiting, makes the catch for the out. So Cruz popped up. Here is Cedeno. Cedeno hitting .308. 10 home runs, 72 RBIs for Cesar. Okay, Cedeno batting in the number 4 spot, and Art Howe is out on deck. Then it'll be Woods, Landestoy, Ashby, and Ryan. 1 man out and 2 men on. The Dodgers now go to double play depth. Cedeno runs very well. He's a tough man to double up. On the other hand, he hits the ball hard usually. Here's the pitch to him. Fastball, caught the outside corner for a strike. A walk and a single to open it up for the Astros. Montreal and Philadelphia at Montreal, they've had a long rain delay. It's now nearly 4:30 there, and they haven't started their game yet. They were due to start 2 or 3 hours ago. But they have AstroTurf there, and if the rain ever stops, they'll be able to get the ball game started. They've got a lot of time to get it going. They can play all night, of course. Here's the 0-1 pitch. CC takes strike 2 on the outside corner. A good fastball in a good location. He wasn't looking for that one in that particular spot. Cedeno has hit safely in 19 of 27. And over that stand, he has hit at .339. Hitting .305 for the year. Make it .308. Cruz hitting .305. 0-2 count. Cedeno with a slightly closed stance. Royce set. To look at the runner. The pitch on the way. Just missed same spot, but he got it a little bit high. So Royce tried to saw off the outside corner to Cedeno, and he missed a little bit upstairs with it. Tomorrow, the final game of the regular season. And the Dodgers hope that after tomorrow they will have one more Monday. But they've got to win today and tomorrow to create that situation. 1 and 2. Cedeno swinging that bat. Good crowd on hand, nearly capacity. There's a foul back over the screen, out of play. The Dodgers had about 10,000 general admission seats on sale prior to the game, and they had some left now. There are blue seats available in the right field pavilion and some upstairs off to the left. So the crowd should be somewhere around 48,000 for the game this afternoon, maybe a little less. Tomorrow's game, the final game of the regular season, Fan Appreciation Day, has been sold out for a long time. It's still 1 and 2 to Cedeno. He's ready to pitch. Fouled away again. And again, Royce keeping that ball away from Cedeno so that he can't pull him. Royce on the year has given up 12 home runs. Royce against the Astros has not allowed a home run. Cedeno has hit him 5 for 8, so he's working Cedeno with kid gloves. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, the stretch, the look, and the pitch on the way. Low and inside, ball 2, and it's a 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cedeno backs out of the batter's box for a moment. Okay, CC back in again. Morgan leading off second base, running on a bad knee. Cabell with pretty good speed is on at first base. Here's the pitch on the way. Ground ball towards second. Lopes has it. Thomas 1. Back to first, double play. Perfect double play ball. 4-6-3. Lopes to Thomas on to Garvey. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. The score at the end of a half inning. Astros nothing, Dodgers coming to bat.
St. Louis.
Before the Dodgers come up in the first inning, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
I'm Ross Porter of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The next best thing to being at Dodger Stadium is your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
Nolan Ryan warming up now. Nolan, who spent 8 glorious years with the California Angels and a 2-time 20-game winner. He won 21 in 1973, and he won 22 in 1974. 16-game winner with the Angels last year. Got off to a slow start this year with the Astros, but has been doing much better of late. Ryan making his 6th start against the Dodgers. In his last outing, he was the winning pitcher as the Astros beat the Braves 7-3. He worked 5 2/3 innings. Ryan is 0-1 against the Dodgers this year in 5 previous starts. And lifetime, he is 1-7 against the Dodgers. So Nolan Ryan, who moved back home to Alvin, Texas, which is just near Houston. Of course, when he was in the Angel organization, he lived in Villa Park out in Orange County. Spent his summers there. And Ryan now back here in Southern California, trying to have one of the biggest days of his career. Here's the pitch on the way to Davey Lopes. Fouls it away out of play. Davey playing with a bad neck. He can hardly turn it around. In fact, umpire Doug Harvey, who was working at second base last night, said, "What are you doing out here? You remind me of the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, the way you move around in pieces." Now the Tin Man used to go a step at a time and turn his head slowly. Here's the pitch to Davey. Curve is high for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Ryan, of course, is one of the game's all-time great strikeout pitchers. This year he has 191. And the curve is outside, ball 2. He will not lead the league in strikeouts this year. Carlton has 286. Carlton will pitch tomorrow. 2 balls and a strike. It's been a long time since he's had less than 200 strikeouts. Ryan last year had 223. In 1975, he was in only 28 games, and he struck out 186. That was his low since coming to California. Foul back, and the count is 2-2 to Davey Lopes. All of the Dodgers wanting to get in there. Lopes, Say, and Baker are all hurting, but they're playing. Here's Ryan to the windup, and the 2-2 pitch to Davey. Foul back, count holding, 2-2. Rick Mundy on deck, and Dusty Baker to follow. Ryan has pitched 4 no-hit ball games. That ties him with another guy who is in the ballpark today, The ex-Dodger great Sandy Koufax also had pitched 4 no-hitters. A 2-2 count. Ryan ready, delivers. It's a little high, ball 3. Tried him with a breaking ball, 3-2. Ryan, as he is working today, has exactly 3,100 strikeouts in his career. He's 17 behind Bob Gibson. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball on the right side, not too deep. Backing up is Howe, going out is Morgan, coming on as the right fielder. Morgan makes the play. So Lopes pops up to the second baseman, Morgan, in shallow right field. On that strikeout list, Ryan 17 behind Gibson at his 3rd place on the all-time list. He picked up his 3,000th strikeout on July 4th by striking out Cesar Geronimo, who was also Bob Gibson's 3,000th strikeout victim. Here's Mundy at bat. Rick had a big night last night. He had a double and 2 singles, scored 2 runs. Mundy on a hunch was inserted into the lineup, and he had a big night. Now against Ryan, we'll see how he fares. 1 out, Nolan ready, delivers. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Well, the individual batting championship is going down to the wire, and Billy Buckner is gaining on everybody. He went into today's games leading with a .323 percentage, and he's added to that. Mundy fouls one straight back below, it's strike 2. Billy Buckner today had a home run for Chicago in the 9th inning with none on, and is now hitting .326. He's had 3 for 5 today, trying to pull away from Templeton and win the batting championship. Hernandez is 3rd at .320. Dawson, .309, and Cedeno, .308. Ryan working to Mundy, strike 2 count. Today's game might be a copy of last night's low-scoring affair. Good pitching. Force and Sutton last night. And Valenzuela getting the win for the Dodgers, working the last 2 innings in relief of Sutton. Crowd again at Factory, making a lot of noise. Standing ovation for the Dodgers before they took the field. The pitch to Mundy. Curve, strike 3 called, he knew it. So Mundy is called out on strikes. Number 1 for Ryan. And the batter will be Dusty Baker. Baker coming on. Ryan against the Dodgers this year has allowed 16 earned runs in 36 1/3 innings for an earned run average of an even 4. He has 4 no-decision appearances against the Dodgers. All right, Baker at bat. Dusty has had a chronic problem with his hamstring on the right leg, and it's bothering him still, but it's taped and he's playing. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Dusty last night went 0 for 4, but he got on an error, a crucial error in the 9th inning. Little dribbler to the right side of the mound, and Landeskog couldn't come up with it. Baker leans back from fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 to Baker. We understand they're underway at Montreal. They had a long rain delay. We'll try to confirm that. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Dusty fouls one down the first base line, just outside the bag. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. No score. We're in the 1st inning. The Dodgers and the Astros have 1 more scheduled for tomorrow. And if the Astros win this one and tomorrow's, then they will have 1 more added to the schedule Monday to be played right here. The Dodgers pulled it out dramatically last night. That's the 2nd dramatic win they've had this week. They had one in San Francisco coming from behind. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Baker. Tap toward 3rd, and up forward is Cabell. Bounces his throw to 1st. It's dug out by Howe in time. So Baker out on a ground ball to 3rd. The Dodgers gone in the 1st inning, 3 up and 3 down. Score at the end of 1 inning, Dodgers nothing, Astros nothing.
New 76 dealer Lowell Haynes has community spirit, and it's no secret to his customers. Because for many years he wore another hat too, as City Councilman Haynes. And what's more, well, let's let him tell his story in his own words.
The spirit of 76.
But Guardian said back in 1960, at that time they needed 7 councilmen instead of 5, and I remember I got more votes than the mayor, and he was running by himself, so it was 13 and a half years on the city council. I just finally said, well, let somebody else do it for a while. I was out of it 2 weeks, and they appointed me to the planning commission, and I've been the chairman for 6.5 years. It does require a lot of work. I would say average of 6 hours a week. Sometimes it's more. It's an honor and privilege to serve the people.
Lowell Haynes, a 76 dealer with community spirit, a cut above the rest.
When the community's been good to you, if you can help, that's the thing you should do.
We go along into the second inning of the ball game, and it'll be Howe, Woods, and Landeskog coming on to face Jerry Royce, who walked the first batter, gave up a base hit to Cabell, but then got the double play ball out of Cedeno. It's all over in the American League, period. The Yankees have beaten Detroit in the first game of a doubleheader, and that's enough to clinch it. And there's nothing now that Baltimore can do. So the Yankees are the champions in the East. They will play Kansas City, the champions of the West. This will be the fourth time these two clubs have met in the last 5 years. So the Yankees today winning at home, and the big blow was a 3-run home run by Reggie Jackson in the 5th inning. And that gave them the big lead, and it was Rudy May getting the win in that ball game. All right, here is Art Howe coming to bat. And first thing Art wants to do is have the umpire check the baseball. So umpire Crawford walks out in front of home plate, gets the ball from Jerry Royce, and then gives it back to him. Howe hitting .278, 9 home runs and 41 runs batted in. It looks like old friend Billy Buckner might wind up leading the league in hitting. Here's the pitch on the way to Howe. Curveball that's in for strike, 0-1. After Howe, it will be Woods. Gary Woods, the right fielder, then Landeskog, Ashby, and Ryan. Art waits, fastball, low and inside, 1-1. That's been the bread and butter pitch for Royce this year, that fastball down and in. We mentioned a while ago that Bobby Welch is out for the rest of the year, and if the Dodgers make the playoffs, he'll be replaced by Valenzuela. Whom else? Welch, was due to pitch today, but he's had a groin problem the last 3 or 4 times out. And it's on the right leg, high up in the right leg, and he can't push off, so he can't pitch anymore. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Mundy coming in along the line. Garvey going out across the line and can't play it. It fell just as he made a turn looking backwards, and he couldn't get on it. And he was just across the foul line. So Howe will come back to try it in. Garvey had a long way to go for that ball, and so did Mundy, who was not playing Howe toward the right field line. He was playing over. And Garvey had to look up into the overcast and kind of a glare there, so he couldn't get to it. It almost dropped fair, missed being a fair ball by just a foot or two. Howe comes back to try again with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. The Astros, a team batting average of .261. The Dodger team batting average .263. These two clubs very, very even in a lot of respects. Team earned run average for the Astros .312, for the Dodgers .326. 2-2 pitch, struck him out. Fastball, and down goes Howe as Royce gets his first strikeout of the game. That'll bring on Gary Woods, who's done a great job after being called up from Tucson. He wasn't even on the spring roster, but Woods had his contract purchased by the Astros and has come in to do a good job. He's taken over right field against left-hand pitching. So Woods is at bat. He's playing in only his 18th game, but he has 19 hits in 48 at-bats, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. So Gary Woods waiting. The pitch on the way. Foul back into the wire, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Poole sitting down against the left-hander. Cruz and Morgan, though, play, as does Alan Ashby, the catcher, is a switch hitter. Here's the pitch. In there at the knees. Strike 2 to Woods. Woods has helped the Astros win a couple very important ball games down the stretch. Among other things, last night, the Dodgers, of course, clinched second. They can't be caught by the Reds. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Woods. So Royce has back-to-back strikeouts here in the second inning. With 2 to play, the Dodgers lead the Reds by 3 games. They trail the Astros by 2, but the Dodgers at no time were ever thinking about the Reds overhauling them. They were only concerned with overhauling the Astros, who were ahead of them. So So there was no thought about that. Okay. Landestoy coming on. Landestoy, the victim last night. A Baker's slow ground ball to the right side of the mound. He came in slowly and couldn't find the handle. He juggled the ball, had no play. That gave Baker a life for Ron Say to drive in what turned out to be the tying run and set it up for Fergie's game-winning home run in the 10th inning. Here's the look and the pitch on the way. Strike one. Had Landestoy fielded that ball, the pennant race would probably have been over because Garvey followed that play with a fly ball to center, which should have been the third out. But it was only the second out that saved the time at bat for Say, who grounded the single to the middle and got in the tying run. Landestoy takes a strike, 0-1. Rafael is a switch hitter. He's playing shortstop today instead of Reynolds. Bounces one to the right side, down the line. Garvey right there at the bag. Steps on first. Side retired easily in the second inning. Astros go out in order, and the score at the end of an inning and a half. The Astros nothing, the Dodgers nothing.
Now, if you'll excuse me, a little bit of pedantics. The word sausage comes from the Latin salsus, S-A-L-S-U-S, salsus. The French have a word for it, saucisse, and the Spanish call it salchicha. In Southern California, the word sausage seldom stands alone. In fact, never, if it's strictly fresh, Eastern pork sausage. In this case, it must be preceded by two other words, Farmer and John. Its full name being Farmer John Sausage. For you're reminded that of all the Eastern pork sausage in the Southland, only Farmer John's is strictly fresh. It's a handy thought to keep in mind, too, since only sausage such as this, sausage that's just as fresh as that soleback in the pork-raising corn belt, is a peak of full fresh flavor. And you can enjoy Farmer John's sausage three ways: in patties from the roll, mild or hot, in skinless little pork sausage links, and an old-fashioned link sausage, tray-packed and labeled in many Southern California stores. Farmer John's, strictly fresh pork sausage.
All right, move along into the last half of the second inning. The Dodgers trying to climb a big mountain. And how tough is it? Well, it, of course, means a 4-game sweep for the Dodgers if they are to take the championship. The Dodgers have swept 4 straight games at home twice this season, and they've recorded 8 sweeps of series at home this season. They had a 4-game sweep against San Francisco in April, and a 4-game sweep against Montreal in August. They swept San Diego, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and New York in 3-game sets here, and they swept Montreal and Houston in 2-game sets here. Here's Garvey at bat now. Steve Garvey playing in his 833rd consecutive ball game. Garvey getting a round of applause as he comes on. Garvey standing in. He's looking for 200 with 196. He needs 4 more. He'd love to get all 4 today and then have some bonuses to shoot out tomorrow. Bryant's pitch to Garvey. Curve is in there for a strike, 0-1. Garvey leads the league in hits. He has a lead of 3 over Gene Richards of San Diego. Swing and a miss at a Ryan fastball. There was the express. Down around the knees, and it is 0-2. 0-2 count. Say on deck. Ryan ready to go with it, and the pitch to Garvey. Foul, back out of play. Strike 2 count still up there. The Dodgers have won 53 games and lost 26 at home. The Astros at home this year won 55 and lost 26, so the Dodgers would have to win the next 2 to equal the Astros home record. Now the 0-2 pitch on the way. Garvey looks at one high for a ball, 1-2. The Dodgers are 20 games over 500 now. They have been at 22 over twice this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garvey waiting. Nice afternoon, not too warm. Kind of a haze with us yet. Here's the pitch. Half swing foul. He checked his swing. The ball hit the bat, goes back into the stands. Garvey is 7th on the all-time Major League list of consecutive games played. The next man that he will catch if he is healthy next year will be Stan Musial at 895. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Lined into right field. It's going to be caught and dropped by Morgan. Going out for it. Couldn't come up with it. And it'll be a base hit for Garvey off Morgan's glove. Little looper in the right. Morgan running on a gimpy left knee. Couldn't get back fast enough. He got the ball on the glove, but it fell off the glove for a base hit. A little Joe, like some of the Dodgers, playing all taped up. And he couldn't get back far enough on that one. It was off the tip of his glove. Garvey gets a base hit, so he needs 3 more. As we said, for the personal goals, that's only secondary to the main objective, and that's to win 3 more. One of the personal goals achieved last night would be the earned run average championship for Don Sutton, who locked that one up at 2.21. Here's Say at bat, had a game-tying single last night. Say hitting 256. Garvey on first base. Say with 27 homers. Pitch out and no movement. Ashby knocks that ball down. Ryan does not give up many home runs. In fact, the entire Astro pitching staff stingy with home runs. One reason, of course, they play in that big ballpark in the Dome. Ryan has allowed only 9 this year. The one that Force gave up last night to Ferguson was his 15th. All right, Ryan ready. Garvey away from first. The look and the pitch to Say. Taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Houston record for home runs allowed in a season was 68 back in 1968. 1-1 pitch on the way to Say. Fly ball into right center field, going out forward. It's Morgan still going out, and Joe makes the catch on this one. That ball hit a little higher, so Morgan had to retreat on that one, and he got to it. So Say pops out. Here's Guerrero coming up. Pedro hitting .324, 7 home runs, and 31 runs batted in. Guerrero against Ryan has not batted this year. Garvey now 7 for 16 against Noli. Okay, 1 out and 1 on. Guerrero robbed of a home run last night by Cruz and a leaping catch against the fence. Drives one to right field, a base hit. Here's Garvey to second base holding now as Woods brings it back in. So Guerrero punched one to right. The Dodgers have 2 on with Ferguson coming up. The ovation for Ferguson, a standing ovation for Joe. Well, how quickly the fates turn. Earlier in the year, Joe Ferguson was the victim of the blues there, and it was rumored that he'd be traded. He was on the block, apparently. And he became a Dodger hero, especially last night. Fergie up there, and ready to go against Nolan Ryan. Joe hitting .235, 9 homers, 29 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Curve strike, 0-1. 0-1 to Ferguson. Fergie against Ryan this year. He hasn't batted. Okay, 0-1 count. Now the pitch. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers have 3 home runs against Ryan this year, 2 by Baker and 1 by Smith. 1-1 count, 1 out. Again, Ryan up for the arms. Eyes Garvey at second base. The pitch to Fergie. Low and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Darrell Thomas on deck. Mentioning Smith, you can just imagine the feelings of Reggie Smith and Billy Russell, who are on the sidelines watching the action in a furious pennant race right down the stretch. 2-1 to Fergie. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Ball 3. 3-1. Ryan leads the Astros staff in walks with 98. He has always had a wild streak in his career, but he also was overpowering with his fastball and strikeouts. All right, 3-1. If the Dodgers put a play on maybe. Here's the look, 3-1 count. And the pitch to Joe, a swing and a miss, 3-2. He was going after it. Now we'll see if they decide to run. Ryan is a strikeout pitcher. Ferguson strikes out about 20% of the time. less than that. 3-2. Garvey on second. Guerrero on first. 1 out, second inning. The look, the check, they do not go, and it's strike 3 call. Ferguson was on his way to first base. Swings the bat away, now turns and walks back as umpire Crawford called it a strike on the outside corner. So Ryan gets his second strikeout, and the batter will be shortstop Darrell Thomas. Thomas, in last night's game, went 0 for 3. Darrell is hitting .257, 1 home run, and 21 runs batted in. So 2 singles in the inning, but now the Dodgers are down to 2 outs with Royce due up next. Ryan's pitch to Thomas. Swung on late. He was way late on that one. The ball was by him. Strike 1. Darrell from the left side, a better hitter than he is from the right side, hitting .290 as a left-hand batter, 123 as a right-hand batter. Time called. Darrell backs out for a moment. Strike 1 count. Ryan up with the arms. 2 on, and here's the pitch. Swung on late, and he got a heater. So 2 Swifties fired in by Ryan, who can really bring it. 0-2. He's not going to monkey around, apparently, with Darrell. Going to stay with that fastball he did on the first 2 pitches. Strike 2 count. Garvey on second. Guerrero on first, and 2 outs in the second inning. Nolan Ryan against Jerry Royce this afternoon in a big one. Need we say more about that? The 0-2 pitch. Outside, low for a ball. 1-2. He tried to have him chase the fastball down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Game number 161 in a 162 game schedule, and it has not been decided yet. National League East is still alive, with the Phillies leading by 1. High to 1-2 count. Now the pitch. High for a ball. He threw him a curveball that time. Took a little off. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas against Royce this year is 0 for 4. The Dodgers have an earned run average of 4 against Nolan this year. 16 earned runs in 36 innings. All right, 2-2. Ryan ready. Here's the pitch. Flip to the left field. Along the line. Base hit. Here's Garvey around third. Cruz with a throw to the plate. It's going to be late. Dodgers lead on a single by Thomas. And Darrell takes second on the throw to the plate. Darrell Thomas with a 2-2 count after getting behind on fastballs. Broke one to left field near the line. Cruz over to play it. Cut it off. Threw home. And Garvey slides in to score the first run of the game. Guerrero at third. Thomas at second base. And Jerry Royce coming on. And Darrell Thomas helps the Dodgers with a big base hit. Here's Royce. Royce on the year has 3 runs batted in. He has only 6 hits. And one of those 6 a home run. Boy, Royce would give anything for a base hit now. Here's the look and the pitch to him. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. So Darrell Thomas comes through with a single along the left field line, going the opposite way with one. And the Dodgers score first. 0-1 count to Royce. Here again is the look and the pitch on the way to Jerry. Low for a ball. Last night, the Dodgers never led until they won it. It was Astros 1-0, tied at 1-1. Astros 2-1. Dodgers tied it with a run in the 9th. Ferguson's home run won it in the 10th inning. So today they start off with the lead, 1-0 here in the 2nd. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Royce. High and away, ball 2, 2-1. Pitchers due for tomorrow are Vern Rule and Bert Hooton. And the game tomorrow, remember, starts at 12:15. All right, Royce back in, 2-1 count. Guerrero down the line at third. Thomas away from second base. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch to Royce. Foul back into the screen, 2-2. He's up there having a cut. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers feel if they could win this one, they would really put the heat on the Astros then, who came to town needing to win only one game. The Dodgers snatched one away from them last night. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Royce. Strike three called on a curveball. Royce can't believe it. Stands there and looks at the line that ball was making, and he's out on strike. So Ryan yields one run, 3 hits, 2 left on. The score at the end of 2 innings. Dodgers 1, and the Astros nothing.
What's your definition of value? Well, these days, that's a mighty important question. We'll try this definition on for size. You get value, and you get everything you pay for, and then some. And to me, that sounds like Datsun. Because in just about every new Datsun you can buy, you'll find extras that don't cost extra. Like rear window defrosters, stalk-mounted controls, flow-through ventilation, one-key locking systems, front disc brakes, maintenance-free batteries, easy-to-service engine compartments, front bucket seats that recline all the way back, tightly fitting seams, and nicely finished trunks. In most Datsun hatchbacks and wagons, you'll find split fold-down rear seats. And all the rear doors in new Datsuns have child safety locks. Little things? Oh, sure they are. But they all add up to more value for you. Everything you pay for, and as we said, then some. So see your Datsun dealer now for value and economy. Remember, it's a long way to empty in a Datsun.
Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Rick Money of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The next best thing to being at Dodger Stadium is your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
Jerry Royce now staked to a 1-run lead. Against the Astros this year, Royce has won 3 games and lost none. He won twice in relief. And he won 1 start against the Astros. He leads the league in shutouts with 6 for the year. And he's got a 1-0 lead now, trying to make it stand up for a while. Ashby, Ryan, and Morgan will be the first 3 batters now for Houston. Ashby, a switch-hitting catcher. Turning around to bat from the right side, Royce to the windup, and the first pitch to Ashby is in there for a strike. Against left-handers, he's hitting only 167. Ashby overall hitting 251. The 0-1 pitch, chop foul at the plate, strike 2. Oh-2 the count to Ashby with Ryan due up next. There's a broken bat blooper out in front of second base. Lopes there to make the catch. 1 away. He sawed that bat right in half. Royce is over now to pick up the barrel of the bat, which is halfway between the mound and third base. And it's stuck in the ground there. Shattered it. So pop fly, and here's Ryan coming on. Nolan Ryan has 6 hits on the year. 1 of those a home run, and he hit it against Don Sutton in his first game against the Dodgers this year in the Dome. And it was the only home run of his career. Of course, in the American League, Ryan didn't hit very much, but he was in the National League with the Mets for several years. So Noli comes on here in the 3rd. The Dodgers are leading on 3 singles by Garvey, Guerrero, and Thomas. In case you missed it earlier, the Yankees beat Detroit in the first game of a doubleheader, clinching the American League pennant. They will go against the Kansas City Royals in the playoffs. And we still do not have a report out of Montreal. We had thought that that game might be underway, but as yet we've had no report there. Ryan takes a strike, and it's 0-2 to Nolan. Joe Morgan out on deck. Ball game in the top of the 3rd inning. The Astros 92 wins, 68 losses. Here's the pitch. Bounce foul, first base way, up into the stands. The Dodgers have won 90 and lost 70. Well, you know one thing, it's going to take 93 to win the championship. Swing and a miss, Ryan down on strike. Low fastball, and he's out of there. 3rd strikeout for Royce. And the batter will be Joe Morgan leading it off. In case you missed it, UCLA in football beat Ohio State decisively, 17-0 back in Ohio. Here's a final football game, and we're not sure whether it's football or baseball or maybe some other sport. Arizona beat Iowa 5-3. That's right, 5-3. Here's Morgan, 2 outs. Pitch to him, bounce to first base. Garvey backs up for a hop. Now he will underhand to Royce Coving to beat gimpy-legged Morgan. Side retired in order. Royce now has retired 8 in a row. Side out, 3 up and 3 down, and the score at the end of 2.5. Dodgers 1 and the Astros nothing.
For you, and someone else who does quite the way you do. So here for you, you know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. It's good for you. It's good for you.
Bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
All right, we go to the bottom of the third, top of the Dodger batting order. Dodgers leading 1-0, in case you tuned in late. Garvey opened up with a single off Morgan's glove on a looper to right field. After Say popped up, Guerrero singled to right field. And then after Ferguson struck out, Thomas singled into left field. And that drove in Garvey with the run. Nolan Ryan ready to go to work. Ryan this year has 2 shutouts, and of course he lost any chance of one today. When Thomas singled to left field, he got the run home. Davey Lopes coming on, and Davey playing under duress with that bad neck. Walking slowly to the plate. Popped up his first time. Davey took 2 turns at the plate last night and had to give way. Flat out both times, shallow to center, and then to the second baseman. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball is outside, ball 1. Lopes, Mundy, and Baker here in the third inning. Now again, Ryan ready and delivers. Popped up foul out of play in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lopes. Crowd of somewhere between 45 and 50,000 here this afternoon. And tomorrow the Dodgers close out the season. The game has been a sellout for quite a while. Here's Ryan ready on the 1-1 pitch to Davey. Popped up again, this time down the third base line, and in comes Cabell right on the line and handles it for the out. So Davey not able to make good contact, keeps hitting the ball up in the air. So he's probably something wrong with the neck that causes him to keep hitting the ball in the air. That's 4 straight times now that he's hit little pop flies. Here's Mundy at bat, struck out his first time up. Rick, first time, was out on strikes. Mundy last night with 3 base hits, including a big single to begin the 9th inning rally after 1 out. Okay, Ryan ready to go. Now the look, and here's the pitch. Curve is in there for a strike, 0-1. The Dodgers carrying the Astros right down to the wire. Now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at the fastball. In on the hand, strike 2. 0-2 to Mundy. Rick is hitting .276. 10 homers, 24 runs batted in. Oh, 0-2. Ryan taking a look at Ashby's signs. Here's the pitch. High for ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Mundy. For Mundy's playing in his 94th game. Rick still has an ugly scar on the back of his left heel from the operation last winter that might have ruined and ended his career. But he's come back strong and has had a good season. 1-2 to Rick. Now Ryan ready, delivers. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Mundy down on strikes for the second time. 4 strikeouts for Ryan. Of course, that's nothing new. He's a premier strikeout pitcher. Here's Baker at bat, grounded out his first time at bat. Baker against Ryan this year, 2 for 15. Two away, the pitch on the way to Baker. Breaking ball, got the outside corner, strike one. Garvey's been the Dodgers' best hitter against Ryan. He now has 7 hits against him. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Dusty. Breaking ball, strike 2, letter high, and Baker is in the hole, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3rd inning. Here's Ryan ready, and the pitch. Struck him out. Side retired. Baker down on strikes. 5 strikeouts for Ryan in 3 innings. And the Dodgers go down in order, and at the end of 3, the Dodgers won, the Astros nothing.
In 1952, the Dodgers had a young pitcher named Ben Wade. Ben had a winning record that year, and he could hit, too. Well, today, Ben Wade is director of scouting for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he rates a Union 76 salute for 23 years of service to the Dodger organization. Ben had a long, successful career as a Major League ball player, a career which included pitching in 2 World Series. After his active playing days were over, he went to work as a scout in the Dodger organization, and in 1973, named director of scouting for the Dodgers. Yes, Ben has served the Dodgers well, so right here we'd like to give him a tip of the Union 76 cap for his 23 years with the Dodgers. And at the same time, we'd like to remind you that Union 76 has almost as many years with the Dodgers as Ben Wade has, because they've been one of the Dodgers sponsors for 21 years now. So friends, if you enjoy these games, look for one of Union 76 stations throughout California and the West, and go with the spirit of 76.
3 innings gone. The Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. And the Astros no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Royce on the mound, Ferguson behind the plate, Garvey, Lopes, Thomas, and Say on the infield, Baker, Guerrero, and Mundy in the Dodger outfield. The Dodger run in the 2nd inning, singles by Garvey, Guerrero, and Thomas, who drove in the run. Okay, let's go to the 4th. More play. Here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good day to you, wherever you may be. The Dodgers and the Astros moving into the 4th inning. 1-0 Dodgers, and we get a report that the Montreal ball game is just about ready to get underway after a 3-hour rain delay. That is such a big ball game. Montreal, Philadelphia, they would not want to have to play a doubleheader to decide things tomorrow. So after waiting 3 hours, they'll get it underway. Enos Cabell has the only hit off Jerry Royce, a single to right field. It is interesting that there are 4 hits in the game, and they have all gone the other way, which no doubt is a tribute both to the pitching and the hitting. Off speed for a strike. In other words, Cabell, a right-hand batter, single to right. In the 2nd inning, Garvey single to right, Guerrero single to right, and then Thomas hitting left-handed, single to left. And there's a shot just foul outside of first and down the line. 0-2. So we're seeing the art of going with the pitch right now. And the Dodgers leading 1-0. Jerry Royce, when asked about pitching with 3 days rest, said the 1 year where he was working every 4th day in his career, ironically, was when he was with Houston. Here's the strike 2 pitch. Fastball, and there's a ground ball to Darryl Thomas. High hop, but he stays with it and gets him. 1 away, and Jose Cruz, the batter.
Left field.
The Dodgers were fortunate on Darryl Thomas' base hit to left field that Jose Cruz throws left-handed. So that when Cruz came to the line to field the ball, he had to then turn his body around in position for the throw, breaking ball strike. If Cruz had been a right-handed thrower, he might very well have gotten Garvey on that base hit. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Low, 1-1. Jose's name is always mentioned when you talk about the MVPs for Houston. He's hit well over 300. He's hit about 340 against right-hand pitching this year. He takes outside, ball 2. Jose with 11 home runs, 90 runs batted in. He's tops on the team in RBIs. And, of course, he made that dazzling catch to take a home run away from Guerrero last night. 2-1 fastball. There's a ground ball up the middle, and Lopes can't get it.
In to get the ball is Guerrero, and Cruz will hold with a single. Boy, it must be so frustrating for both Davy Lopes and Joe Morgan. They know what they want to do. They know they have normally been able to do it, and they can't do it today. Morgan normally catches Garvey's base hit easily in the second inning, but because of his bad leg, he couldn't get to it, and the Dodgers cashed that in for the only run. And Lopes, of course, unable to move his head. He had ice on his neck from about 10 o'clock this morning on. Now, here's a guy who has hit Royce in the past. He was 5 for 8 against Jerry, but then hit into a double play in the first inning. Cesar Cedeno. Royce will look at Cruz, and the pitch swung on late and missed. 0-1. The Astros like to run, and Cruz is one of the fellows who does the running. He has stolen 35 bases. Cedeno has stolen 46. The Astros, in 16 games against the Dodgers, have stolen 31 bases, almost 2 a game. That's a strike. So Cedeno all tied up at the plate, and the count 0-2. Of course, one game early in April, the Astros stole 7 bases against the Dodgers. But you figure in a tough ball game, the Dodgers will have to contend with the stolen base. That's a big weapon. They have stolen 60-some-odd more than the Dodgers during the year, so it's a necessary part of their game. 0-2 to Cesar Cedeno. 1 away in the 4th inning, 1-0 Dodgers. We're just really easing into this thing now. Royce, a little bit of a wobbly start, then turned around and retired 8 in a row, and now Cruz is singled. The strike 2 pitch to Cedeno. He goes, and it's high. Ferguson's throw is on a bounce, not nearly in time. So there you have it, the stolen base. It's lurking in the weeds all the time against the Dodgers, particularly versus Houston. 32 stolen bases. Boy, they're almost running the Dodgers out of the ballpark. That's 2 bases a game they steal. Last night they had a double. And 32 out of 40. So they have really been running wild. So the tying run is at second with 1 out. 1-2 to Cedeno. Royce deals, and it is just outside. Ball 2. 2-2. The Astros had first and second with nobody out in the first inning. Now they have a runner at second with 1 out in the 4th. 1-0 Dodgers in the 4th inning. A smoggy day. Somebody one of these days is going to hit a pop fly in the air, and it's going to stick. And this might be the day. Royce ready, and the 2-2 pitch is hit foul off to the right upstairs, 4th deck. Two and 2 to Cedeno. Royce straddling the rubber. Cedeno waiting. So the Dodgers were the next Houston battery in a sense, Royce and Ferguson. The 2-2 pitch to Cedeno is a ground ball down to Lopes. Davey has it. Straightens up and flips to Garvey, and over to third goes Cruz. So the tying run is 90 feet away, and Art Howe will be the batter. Art Howe struck out in the second inning, 0 for 1. You know how close things were last night? They were literally unpacking the champagne in the Houston clubhouse. They were taken out of the boxes. They were laying it out. Then the Dodgers tied it, and when Ferguson hit the home run, there wasn't a bottle found. Howe fouls it away, 0-1. I can remember way back in 1951 when the Dodgers had food and champagne, everything laid out in their clubhouse in the Polo Grounds. Bobby Thompson hit the home run, and before the teams could get back to the clubhouse in center field, all the goodies had been just wheeled across the hall into the Giant clubhouse. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Howe. He takes high as he faked a bunt, 1-1. I asked Bill Verdon before the game today, I said, you know, one thing we were surprised about last night, he didn't bunt, coming into a game with a third baseman who was playing with a hamstring. Bill said, we talked about bunting twice last night. Once Craig Reynolds and the other Terry Poole tried to bunt. But he said, you know, it's not that easy to bunt. So they're well aware of Say's problem down there at third. 1-1 to Howe. Royce ready, delivers, and it's popped in the air, foul. Garvey coming over. I don't think a play. Nope, it's well back in the stand. 1-2. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits for the Astros, and we're in the 4th inning. So Art Howe, 34 years old, out of Pittsburgh. He's not only born in Pittsburgh, he's out of the Pirate organization. And he's done a solid job, hitting right around 280 most of the year. 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. 2 down. The Astros have the tying run at third. 1-2 to Art Howe, who struck out in the 2nd inning. Royce eyeballing Ferguson. Jerry to the windup, and the 1-2 pitch is hit to straightaway center. Guerrero has a play, lost it in the glare, and it drops. He lost the ball in the shirt sleeve crowd, couldn't find it, and by the time he saw where it was on the green grass. So there's a break. However, if you want to be realistic about it, the breaks now have evened up, because Joe Morgan should have caught Steve Garvey's base hit. Combination of the glare and Morgan's bad leg. And now Guerrero loses the fly ball in the shirt sleeves. We will tell the people across the country he lost it in the shirt sleeves. You and I know where he lost it. And here is Gary Woods. And Woods, the right fielder, having a big year since coming up from Tucson, hitting just under 400. So a 1-1 tie on a bloop single to center. A run, 3 hits for each side. It is really brutally difficult out there today for all the players. Royce ready and delivers. High, ball 1. They used to talk about playing left field in Yankee Stadium in the fall with all the cigarette smoke and how difficult it was to find a baseball. Well, when you look into this wedding cake ballpark full of shirt sleeves, it's extremely difficult. 1-0 to Gary Wood. Royce comes back, and that's fouled off. 1-1. So they're even in the 4th. Bob Lillis coaching at first. Don Leppert at third. Leppert going through the motions with Woods. Gary with 2 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Royce out of his stretch, looks at first, comes back to Woods off speed and high. Ball 2, 2-1. Bert Hooton and Vern Rule tomorrow. 2-1 to Gary Wood. Right-hand hitter and a good one. Royce hit the belt. The 2-1 pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed, and he might have gone after a bad ball. It was up and away, and Woods, a little hungry at the plate, chased it. 2-2. Woods waiting. Royce a look over at first. Back to the hitter, and it's grounded foul outside of third. Breaking ball, and he got it in, and Woods pulled it too much. Art Howe at first. It was Howe last night who had the single in the 8th inning that appeared to be the killer, because that sent the tie-breaking run to third, and the fly ball got it home. That made it 2-1 to Houston. And it is Howe today on a break to tie it up. 2-2 pitch. Woods fouls it right into Fergie's mask, and it's still 2-2. Jerry Royce and Nolan Ryan. Dodgers scored in the 2nd, a bloop single by Garvey that Morgan would catch most of the time, except playing on a bad leg. And eventually, the single by Darrell Thomas to get him home. Change is low, and just low. Ball 3. And now the Dodgers, after Cruz singles and works his way to third, they give up the tying run when Guerrero loses the fly ball, and it drops for a base hit. 3-2, Howe ready to go, and the pitch is swung on and missed. That's the 2nd time Woods has struck out. 4 strikeouts for Royce, and at the end of 3.5 innings, a 1-1 tie.
One of the good things about sandwiches is that you can enjoy them so many ways, from tiny tea sandwiches to huge heroes with soft rolls, hard rolls, an endless variety of different breads, plain or toasted. But the best thing about sandwiches is what's inside them, which, as you've no doubt guessed, brings up the subject of Farmer John's sliced luncheon meats. And a deliciously unique subject it is.
or I should say subjects, plural, since Farmer John's luscious lineup includes a host of your favorites. Sliced cooked ham, meat bologna, beef bologna, Italian cotto salami, pickle and pimento loaf, ham roll, mission loaf, and head cheese. And what makes these luncheon meats unique is their special freshness. For these are the only luncheon meats made with strictly fresh Eastern corn-fed pork that's dressed fresh in the Southland, along with juicy, fresh domestic beef. So the wrap-up of our message is this: to give a welcome freshness to your sandwiches, make them with the fresh ones, the sliced luncheon meats from Farmer John.
Bottom of the fourth inning, a 1-1 tie. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
I'm Dusty Baker, Los Angeles Dodgers. The next best thing to being at Dodger Stadium is your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
Three hits for each side. It could easily be a scoreless tie, but the breaks have evened out 1-1. Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Pedro Guerrero in that order. Garvey, a bloop single to right. Morgan, who twisted his left knee last night, limping, very gimpy-legged at second base. Meanwhile, Davy Lopes, bothered with a stiff neck, and that's apparent. So both second basemen are really hurting. And here is Garvey to start it off. We get official confirmation. Philadelphia, Montreal, a do-or-die game for Montreal. Larry Christensen against Steve Rogers. Garvey got a bloop single to right. That was the break. He looks at the first one low, ball one. When the Dodgers scored on Ryan, they went the other way. Garvey blooped a single to right. Cey popped up to Morgan. Guerrero single to right. And with two out, Thomas single to left, batting left-handed. And there it goes, a high drive into the Dodger bullpen. Dodger bullpen. A $20 book of Union All Auto Strip to the Impact Drug Rehabilitation Houses in Pasadena. And the Dodgers lead 2-1. For Garvey, his 26th home run. His first against Houston this year. And the pitch to Cey is ball one. And it means now that Garvey has hit a home run against every team in the league. Ron Cey has also done the same. And the pitch is low, ball two. Mike Schmidt has done the same. 2-0 to Cey. Nolan Ryan has now allowed only 10 home runs this year. Pitch swung on and missed 2-1. But of course, when you pitch at least half of your starts in the Astrodome, you don't figure to be bothered by the home run very often. It is important to note he is 8-2 in the cool indoors of the Astrodome. He is 3-7 on the road. The pitch to Cey outside. Ryan doesn't know how to beat the Dodgers in that he is 1-7 lifetime, and the only time he beat them was 12 years ago. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. I'm not saying he's not a $1 million pitcher, but he just has not experienced victories against the Dodgers. 3-2 to Ron Cey. So the Dodgers give back the run on a break, and immediately Garvey unties it with a bomb into the bullpen. 3-2 pitch. Ryan delivers, and that's fouled away. Rattling around upstairs and goes down below in a circus catch by an over-enthusiastic fan. 3-2 the count to Ron Cey. The hills are alive, not with the sound of music. The hills are alive with the roars of Dodger fans here at Dodger Stadium. 3-2 to Cey. Ryan ready and delivers. Fastball, pop foul off to the right of the plate. Ashby digging, still digging. He will not have a play. It's on the roof of the dugout seats. Still 3-2. For the Dodgers, they've hit 4 home runs against Nolan Ryan. Three and 2 to say. Tomorrow, Bert Hooton and Vern Rule. Dodgers leading 2-1 in the 4th inning. Ryan into the windup, and the 3-2 pitch to say. Fastball foul back. Ryan has struck out 5. The only 2 balls that have been hit, the single to left by Darrell Thomas, and the home run by Garvey. Dodgers 2, Astros 1, nobody out on the 4th. Nolan Ryan, both feet on the rubber. Nolan to the windup, and the 3-2 pitch is a high fly ball into left center. Cedeno is fighting to find it, but now he has it and makes the catch. Cedeno threw his hands up in the air, even though he had his sunglasses on. He didn't know where that ball was for the moment, but finally he picked it off. And here comes Guerrero with 1 out. Pedro Guerrero. Single to right field in the 2nd inning. First time he ever faced Nolan Ryan. Noli comes to him, breaking ball, over for a strike, 0-1. On deck, Joe Ferguson. Steve Garvey's home run, the difference in the game right now, 2-1 Dodgers. Ryan to the windup, and the strike 1 pitch. Half swing, he was badly fooled, strike 2, 0-2. Garvey is 2 for 2 today. That means he has 8 hits in 17 at-bats against Nolan Ryan. Boy, that's out of sight. 8 for 17. The Guerrero waiting, 0-2. Ryan building to the windup, and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball got him swinging. It might be hard to tell these kids he has struck out 6. That you should have seen Nolan Ryan 10, 12 years ago. Here's Joe Ferguson. Fergie rode the elevator from the penthouse last night with a game-winning home run, and he went to the basement with 2 on. He struck out in the 2nd inning. The pitch to him off speed and high. Ball 1, 1-0. And Ashby's throw to the mound winds up at shortstop, so they put a new ball in play. 1 ball, no strike. Jerry Crawford throws the old ball out. 1-0 to Fergie. 2 out, 4th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. And that's low, ball 2. It's interesting for the Astros to know that in their young existence, 14 times out of 18, they have closed the season on the road, and 7 of those times here in Los Angeles. There's a strike. 2-1. But never before in their history have they closed out a season under such pressure here. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball over nicely, 2-2. In 1981, the Astros will open up the season here. And, you guessed it, they will close the season here. That's a rather strange turn of events, isn't it? Here's the 2-2 pitch to Fergie. Ryan delivers, missed with the fastball. Seemed like he tried to get a little something extra on it and threw beyond himself and got it down and away. Full count to Fergie. He struck him out on a 3-2 pitch in the 2nd inning. Checking, Fergie waiting. Now Nolan into the windup, and the 3-2 pitch to Joe is strike 3 call. Isn't that the life of a baseball player, though? 7 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan, but at the end of 4, the Dodgers 2 and the Astros 1.
Datsun trucks get such great mileage, some owners exaggerate.
Talk about good gas mileage. My Datsun Little Hustler ought to have feathers.
Why?
It drinks like a bird.
Oh.
My Datsun King Cab goes so far between fill-ups it doesn't need a gas gauge.
Oh, yeah?
It needs a calendar.
Mileage? With my Datsun Long Bed, the only time I visit the gas station is to get my map refolded.
It's a long way to empty.
EPA estimates with 5-speed stick, 23 mpg city, 32 mpg highway. Use 23 for comparison. Your mileage may differ. Highway mileage will probably be less. Either way, it's a long way to empty in a Datsun pickup.
It's a long way to empty.
See your Datsun dealer today for trucks that'll take you a long way.
We're going to the fifth inning with the Dodgers leading the Astros 2-1. The Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Astros 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. If you wanted to talk about breaks, it would have been a scoreless tie until Garvey's home run. Each side got a big break, so they're dead even in that department. But the home run by Garvey is the difference. For Nolan Ryan, he has struck out 7. And for Jerry Royce, he has struck out 4. If there is one extra point in the ball game today, it was a decision by Tommy Lasorda back in the second inning. It'll never make any headlines, but if you want to get inside a ball game, that was a decision he made with Ferguson at the plate. Runners at first and second and 1 out. A 3-2 count. When you have a catcher up, you're worrying about a ground ball double play taking you out of the inning. However, Ferguson strikes out about 25% of the time, and he was going against a strikeout pitcher, Nolan Ryan. So Lasorda opted to keep the runners still. And sure enough, Ferguson struck out. Had the runners been going, they would have doubled up Garvey easily at third. So that kept 2 on, and with 2 out, Darrell Thomas single to left for a run. So that was a mighty big decision. Now we're in the fifth inning with the Dodgers leading the Astros 2-1. Rafael Landeskog, Alan Ashby, and Nolan Ryan. Landeskog, nurtured and grown in the Dodger organization, runs up the bunt, takes a strike. And as the fates would have it, he kicked the easiest ground ball you'll ever see last night. But nothing is easy, not in these games. What is a routine play in July becomes a white-knuckle effort this time of year. Ground ball to short, charging it is Thomas, guns him out. When you look at the Astros, you figure a left-hand pitcher is going to give him a bad time, especially if Morgan is playing on a bad leg. Landeskog doesn't figure to hurt you. Neither does Ashby when he's hitting right-handed. He's hitting about 160 against left-hand pitching. Royce delivers off speed. Just missed. They're going to check at first. No swing, says Doug Harvey. Ball 1. You would also figure that a left-hand pitcher would keep Cruz relatively quiet. So the men carrying the load for Houston would be Cabell, Cedeno, Howe, and Woods. And Woods is a rookie. Ball 2. So then you're down to Cabell, Cedeno, and Howe. 2-0. The count to Alan Ashby. Royce delivers a strike. 2-1. Dodgers leading 2-1 in the fifth inning. Jerry ready and his 2-1 pitch. In there again. 2-2. Ashby, no power, and particularly against left-handers. He has 1 extra base hit against left-hand pitching. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away. Allen's a youngster from Long Beach who played such a big part last night. In fact, it looked like he was going to be the hero until things got away from Houston. 2-2 to Alan Ashby. Royce to the windup. Jerry ready. The 2-2 pitch is hit over Garvey's head into shallow right field for a base hit. Monday had to come away to get it, but Ashby, the catcher, doesn't run well anyway. So he'll take a dunker, and that'll bring up Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan struck out in the third inning. The Dodgers figure that Nolan Ryan is punting to stay out of the double play. Have Joe Morgan on deck. And he's around to bunt and pulls away the pitch high, ball 1. Ashby, no running speed,
at first base. On a ball club that loves to run, Ashby has not even been involved in any kind of a base-stealing effort, hit and run or otherwise. The 1-0 pitch. The bunt is down. Royce looks at second and goes to second. No good. He threw late and high and off the bag. Darrell Thomas made an excellent play to flag that thing. And it will be a sacrifice fielder's choice. So thinking that Ashby had no speed at all, Royce then forced the play and didn't get him. So first and second, 1 out, and Joe Morgan, the batter. Morgan has walked and grounded out. Joe is not much of a double play hitter because he uppercuts the ball a lot. But, of course, playing on that bad left leg, the Dodgers are hoping he'll hit a ground to somebody in the infield. Because if they ever have a chance to double him up, it's today. Royce delivers, line drive, leaping catch by Lopes over to Thomas, double play. Would you believe it? To make a leaping one-hand catch, not only taking a base hit and an RBI to tie it up away from Morgan, but then, insult to injury, converting it into a double play. Well, with all my thinking, that's not exactly the double play we were talking about, but at the end of 4.5 innings, Dodgers 2, Astros 1.
And now, for all the Hall of Famers, for all you big sticks and golden gloves and fireballers from years gone by, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. For being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. This Bud's for you.
Because you played the game like only a handful of men could ever play. Because your excellence set a standard. Because you made it to Cooperstown. Here's to you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, and the Astros 1 run, 4 hits. I'm sure the Astros did not have any self-doubts at all when they came in here. I mean, it seemed pretty easy. You have a 3-game series, and all you have to do is win one of them, and you have it locked up. But I'll tell you what, in the middle of the 2nd game, after losing last night, finding themselves behind, and then seeing that line drive caught and converted into a double play, a little shadow of a doubt has to come in, like water seeping in your shoes. I think for the first time, as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning, Houston might suddenly realize it is not quite as easy as it might have seemed. Darrell Thomas, Jerry Royce, and Davy Lopes coming up in the 5th inning. Ryan has been magnificent. He has struck out 7, but he's behind. That's where he usually is against the Dodgers throughout his career. Nolan Ruddy and the pitch at Darrell Thomas on the hand, swung on and missed. Darrell got a pitch that he could go the other way with, and he did, single to left to drive in a run in the 2nd inning. Thomas, a very good left-hand batter. He's almost a 300 hitter from this side of the plate. Swings, doesn't get it, 0-2. If you remember his last at-bat, Ryan blew 2 right by him, 0-2. Then noodled and got 2-2, and then Thomas singled. Nolan checking into the windup, and the strike 2 pitch on the way is hit to the hole. Over to get it is Landeskog. Sets for a long throw and nips him at first base. Nice play by Art Howe. He was tall and rangy enough to go up and get it. So Jerry Royce, the batter. 1 out, 5th inning. Dodgers 2, Astros 1. Royce struck out in the 2nd inning. Jerry 0 for 1. Ryan, who stands on the rubber off center, and apparently it has worked for him. He hasn't walked anybody. The pitch inside, and Royce jackknifes to get out of the way of it. Ball one. With Nolan on the rubber instead of straight in towards the plate, he is almost looking over towards the third base foul line. Fastball is hit down into the Dodger dugout, rattling around in there, and the count 1-1. The way things have been going for the Dodgers this year, of course, they're not even safe in the dugout. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Royce. Ryan delivers. Fastball high. Ball 2. 2-1. One out in the fifth. Dodgers 2. Astros 1. Each side got a break, cashed it in for a run, but then Garvey homered in the fourth, and that's the difference. Fastball is swung on and missed 2-2. Boy, Nolan is humming. He is not the Ryan of 10 years ago. Nobody is anybody from 10 years ago. His fastball doesn't have quite the hop it used to have, but he can still bring it. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. That's 8 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan with 2 out in the fifth inning. Davey Lopes, who saved the Dodgers bacon with that leaping catch in the top of the fifth inning, playing with a bad neck. But he made his play. Both second basemen are laboring under a great load. It's tough enough to play this game healthy. And, of course, second base, one of the tougher positions on the field. Ryan ready and delivers, and it swung on and missed 0-1. Lopes came into the game hitting .255. Rick Monday on deck. When the Astros hit in the sixth, they have Cabell, Cruz, and Cedeno, the heart of the lineup. Here's the strike one pitch to Davey. Breaking ball in there. Strike two. Boy, Ryan is right on the plate. He had 98 walks coming into the game, but he is just strike after strike today. Ryan came into this game with 3,100 strikeouts. Here's the strike two pitch. Breaking ball outside. With 8 strikeouts today, he has 199. And he has Lopes on the ropes 1 and 2. Nolan ready, and the 1-2 pitch to Davey is lined to left field. Cruz going back on the ball and makes the catch for the out. The Lopes hits it hard, but at Cruz, and at the end of 5, Dodgers 2, Astros 1. We're going to the 6th inning. The Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The Astros 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. Enos Cabell, Jose Cruz, and Cesar Cedeno. They have 2 hits amongst them. Cabell a single to right, Cruz a single to center. The Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. The Astros 1 run, 4 hits. The pitching has been magnificent. Royce has walked 1, the leadoff batter, Joe Morgan. Ryan has not walked anybody. Ryan has struck out 8. Royce has struck out 4. So here's Cabell. Enos, born in Kansas but raised in Los Angeles. So you can bet this series means a great thing to him. He's 1 for 2, and Royce delivers. Slow curve, and Cabell way out in front of it. 0-1. Cabell backs out for the moment. Jerry standing back of the rubber. Joe Ferguson behind the plate. The Dodger infield, Garvey, Lopes, Thomas, and Say. Baker, Guerrero, and Monday in the outfield. Now the strike one pitch. Another slow curve, whacked into left field. So again, that's another great part of this game. You give the hitter the slow curve, and he misses. Now the question is he going to say, well, they're not going to come back with that same pitch? The Dodgers are thinking that's what he's going to think. So they came back with the same pitch, and they were wrong. So Cabell singles, and now here's Jose Cruz. Cabell likes to run. He has stolen 20 bases. We'll see what he does with Cruz at the plate. Remember, the Astros had stolen 31 bases, and Cruz stole in the fourth. So they've stolen 32 in 16 games against the Dodgers. Cabell off the bag. Royce, an awkward throw as he straddled the rubber. He couldn't get any steam behind it.
And Cabell back to the bag. Jose Cruz popped up and singled to center. And there's a bluff by Royce. He's off the rubber, and he bluffs again. So Cabell trying to distract Jerry Royce. The pitch to Cruz is taken for a strike. Letter high, 0-1. Cruz wants Crawford to look at the ball. Jerry obliges, says it's okay, and sends it on its way to Jerry Royce. Down in the Dodger bullpen, activity for the second time today. Rick Sutcliffe was up in the first inning, and now Bobo Castillo is throwing here in the sixth. Strike one pitch to Cruz. Royce eyeballing Cabell, double checking, now to the plate, and it's high and inside, 1-1. On deck, Cesar Cedeno. 2-1 Dodgers, top of the sixth. Another tough one. I don't know if the town can take another one like last night. Royce staring over at Cabell, double checks him, triple checks him, now to the plate, and Cruz swings and misses and loses his helmet. He swung so hard. 1-2. Jose Cruz has had a big year. He's hit well over 300 all year against all comers. He has only missed 3 games all year. He leads the club in RBIs. Out of Puerto Rico, folks in Texas feel he's Houston's MVP. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Royce again checking. Cabell doesn't go. And Cruz hits a bouncer off the glove of Royce. Down to Thomas for one. Over to first. Double play. Saying about that slight shadow of self-doubt, it has to begin creeping in now. That high bouncer, Royce is a big man, and he was able to tick it with his glove, and that slowed it down so that Thomas fielded the ball and stepped on the bag. Jerry is 6'5", and he needed all of it. So here's Cedeno with 2 out, and he drives it to center. Guerrero going back into his left, and one-hands it for the out. Done in the 6th inning. And at the end of 5 1/2, Dodgers 2, Astros 1.
You may sometimes wonder, perhaps, why different brands of the same type of food vary so widely in their appeal. In other words, why one tastes so much better than the others. Well, a good example is bacon, a meat which, at least on the surface, doesn't seem to be very complicated. After all, to make bacon, you just take a side of pork, cure it, and then smoke it, and presto, there's your bacon. But no, it's not that simple. Not if you want to make bacon that's a notch or two above the others in flavor. This is why Farmer John does a few hush-hush things in the curing of his bacon, which result in a sweeter, more savory taste. And it's why he goes all out in the smoking, still doing it the patient and unhurried old-time Western way, and insisting that his bacon make not just 1 or 2, but 3 visits to the smokehouse. And this accounts for its richer, far more robust Western flavor. So there you have it, friends, why one brand of bacon tastes so much better than the others. The one, of course, being the bacon from Farmer John.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. The Astros 1 run, 5 hits. And we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Steve Garvey, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Keep up to date on sports with your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1 Dodgers, and the Dodgers will have Rick Monday followed by Dusty Baker and then Steve Garvey. How about this one? The Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox are just finishing out the schedule, and they have to play a doubleheader today. Okay. What really makes it interesting, the first game of that meaningless doubleheader went 17 innings. And Toronto wound up beating Boston 7-6, Leal over Stanley. Rick Monday, Dusty Baker, and Steve Garvey in the 6th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. Monday has struck out twice. He is 2 of Ryan's 8 strikeouts. Remember, Nolan gets one more, he has 200. But he's trailing 2-1 in the 6th inning. Ryan into the windup. The right-hander delivers, and there's a fly ball to shallow center. Here comes Cedeno in a hurry, and he's caught up to it for the catch. One away. There was a note of irony. I'm sure it didn't escape you. Over in the American League East today, the Yankees playing a doubleheader with Detroit. The Yankees had to win one game to clinch, and the Yankees clinched. They won the game. What was the note of irony? Well, the losing pitcher for Detroit, his name is Weaver. Now, what are the odds on that? Here's Baker, and Ryan delivers a ground ball foul outside of third. Dusty Baker is beaten up and tired and is not swinging the bat anywhere close to the way he was swinging it. They will tell you on a note sheet that he's been hitting 300 for the last 10 days or so, but he had really been hurting. He has grounded out and struck out today. Last night, Dusty couldn't get a ball out of the infield. But the Dodgers still look to him for leadership. The strike one pitch is down and away, 1-1. Baker came to the park early, had the leg packed, and then ran in the outfield. And as he said early, don't worry, I'll be there. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Baker hits a high fly ball into center. Cedeno going back, but he has a play just about on the track and makes the catch for the out. So a fly ball to center. 2 down in the 6th inning. Well, we are slowly but surely getting to the excruciating part of the day. End of the race. The last couple of innings. When the Astros bat in the 7th, they have Howe, Woods, and Landeskog. And here is Garvey, who is the difference in the game. Garvey, who has hit Ryan hard all year. He has had 8 hits in 17 at-bats against Ryan. He's 2 for 2 today. Takes a strike. Garvey got a bloop single in the 2nd inning. That was a pop fly that Morgan would normally catch if he's healthy, but he didn't, and Garvey was cashed in. But nobody could have caught the ball he hit in the 4th except the Dodger in the bullpen. 0-1 to Steve with Ron Cey on deck. The strike one pitch fouled away. 0-2 the count. Boy, isn't this great? Win or lose, isn't this great? How lucky we are to have all this excitement. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Garvey. Ryan delivers low, ball 1. You realize it's sleepy time in most cities in the big leagues, but not here. And year after year, not here. Garvey waiting. Steve backs out for the moment, and Ryan backs off the rubber. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 5 hits for the Astros. Ryan into the windup. And the 1-2 pitch to Garvey way outside to the backstop. 2-2. Ryan trying to get a little something extra on a pitch down and away, and he throws it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers scored in the 2nd. The Astros scored in the top of the 4th. Garvey homered in the bottom of the 4th, and that's it. Steve waiting, and Ryan's 2-2 pitch is whacked down the left field line, but hooking foul. It was an off-speed pitch, and that was the difference. If that's a fastball, he might have hit another one out. But it was an off-speed pitch, and Garvey was a little out in front of it and pulled it too much. You can bet Ryan knows all about Garvey. Steve wearing him out, and Ryan trying somehow to get him out. The 2-2 pitch is a line drive base hit. So Garvey is hitting .500 against a $1 million pitcher. He is 9 for 18. But even more than that, with 3 hits today, he now has 199. Incredible. So Ron Cey coming up. Cey has popped up and flied to center, 0 for 2. Well, Garvey, 9 hits in 18 at-bats against Nolan Ryan. That's really owning somebody. Ryan ready. Comes to say outside. Ball 1, 1-0. If you can go 9 for 18 against a $1 million pitcher, that's like owning a condominium, isn't it? 1-0, the count to Ron Say. Ryan delivers, and there's a ground foul outside of third, and the count 1-1. Two to 1 Dodgers in the 6th inning. Steve Garvey held on by Art Howe. On the bag. Ryan just kept looking over there. Say waiting. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Ron. Ryan with a head bob, and the fastball is foul back, and the count 1-2. So it seemed virtually impossible there for a while when Garvey was in such a horrendous slump, his quest for 200 hits. But here he is in the 6th inning on the next to the last day of the regular season, and he has 199. Garvey with a double last night and 3 hits today. Ron Say, 1-2 the count. 2 outs, 6th inning. Dodgers 2, Astros 1. Ryan out of a stretch, and the 1-2 pitch to Say outside, ball 2. By the way, this could be the last radio broadcast for me of the year. Unless there is a game on Monday, of course. But this could be the last one. And may I say how much I have enjoyed the year, thanks to you. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Say. Popped in the air, foul off to the right, out of play. Ashby coming over with Howe, but neither man has a chance. 2-2 to Ron Say with 2 out. Nolan Ryan with great stuff. He has struck out 8. He has not walked a batter, but he is losing. The Dodgers, over the years, have found a way to beat him. He is 1-7 lifetime with the Dodgers. Of course, he spent a great part of his career in the American League, so he was a totally different pitcher when they were beating him. But they beat him earlier this year, and they're leading him again today. Say waiting. Ryan ready, and the 2-2 pitch is low. Ball 3. Pedro Guerrero on deck. Nolan Ryan on the grass in front of the mound. Might want another ball. Yep. And Jerry Crawford will give him a new one. And he doesn't want that one. Well, now he's decided to keep it. It looked like he was going to ask for yet another. Pitchers have very sensitive. Yep, he wants another. I thought he would. Pitchers, when they've been around a while, get so sensitive to baseballs. I remember Claude Osteen. He would reach into a ball bag, grope around, and take one out, saying that this one felt smaller than another. They're supposed to be uniform, but pitchers' hands, like a pianist, they become so very sensitive. Well, Ryan finally thinks he has the ball he wants. So let's see. 3-2 with Garvey going, and it's fouled away. So after all of that, Ryan has lost the ball anyway. It's fouled upstairs. Ryan twice now, after getting a ball, has looked over at Bill Burden. The Astros get 2 men up in the bullpen. Smith and Sambito probably. 3-2 the count to Say. Ryan ready. Garvey goes, and Say hits a ground ball to third. It hits Cabell in the stomach, and he can't pick it up. Error 5. An error charged to Enos Cabell. Say hit that hard. So the Dodgers get a big break in the 6th inning. They have 2 on, 2 out. And Pedro Guerrero, the batter. So just when Ryan needed a break, He has an error. And Pedro Guerrero coming up. Pedro Guerrero singled to right and struck out. 1 for 2. He had never faced Nolan Ryan. Tommy Lasorda was saying before the ball game, I hope Ryan doesn't eat him up. Well, Guerrero probably came up in the second inning and singled to right field. So 2 on, 2 out. A run would be awfully big this stage of the game. Dodgers leading 2-1. Ryan at the belt and delivers, and a breaking ball is swung on and missed. 0-1. With 2 out, Garvey came up with his third hit, a line single to left. Say hit a hard ground ball that Cabell couldn't handle for an error. And here is Guerrero 0-1. Pedro waiting. And Ryan at the belt. Strike 1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 2, 0-2. To Pedro Guerrero. Nolan Ryan trying to battle out of a jam because of the error. Noli straightens up, checks the strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball is rolled up the middle. Down to get it is Landeskog. Over to Morgan just in time for the force on Ron Say. Well, as we said a moment ago, this could be goodbye for me on radio, on the Dodger Radio Network, unless there's a game on Monday. So let's put it this way. We'll see you Monday. Jerry will be back in a minute. At the end of 6, Dodgers 2, Astros 1.
A lot of mighty good cars are sporting front-wheel drive these days, but the one that mixes all-out economy with out-and-out value is the 4-door Datsun 310GX. Here's front-wheel drive that offers features no one else can beat. Plenty of family room and comfort, rack and pinion steering, all-around independent suspension, power front disc brakes, steel-belted radials, fully reclining buckets, tachometer, quartz clock, and Datsun's race-proven 1.5-liter engine. There are doors for everybody, 4, count them, plus a 5th door for your cargo, and split fold-down rear seats that offer the most flexible load space. There's even an optional sky roof that tilts up for fresh summer breezes or lifts out for wide open spaces. You also get plenty of good gas mileage. Datsun 310 is batting a whopping EPA estimated 29 mpg, 39 highway. Use 29 mpg for comparison. Your mileage may differ. Highway will probably be less. Yeah, it's a long way to empty in a Datsun 4-door 310.
All right, Vinny, we'll go along into the 7th inning. It'll be Howe, Woods, and Landeskog, and now we're getting down to where it gets really tough. 3 innings left to go in the ball game, and the Dodgers holding on to a 2-1 lead, supplied by Steve Garvey's home run in the 4th inning. And Garvey in quest of 200 hits again, and boy, he's right on the doorstep. So the Dodgers leading 2-1, and Art Howe will be the batter. Blooped one to center field that fell in front of Guerrero when he lost it in the gloom. Or actually in the smog, to be blunt about it. And it got him the Astro run. That was in the 4th inning. Art Howe also had a big hit in last night's game. Howe, the first baseman, hitting .278, 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. So the Dodgers trying to pull within 1 and force it into the last game of the season tomorrow. Jerry Royce dueling Nolan Ryan in another dandy last night. It was Force against Sutton, and that one went 10 innings. All right, Howe at bat. The Astros came so close last night. They had 2 out in the 9th when Say got the base hit to tie it. Howe, a high pop fly off the third base side. Say backing up. He's under it now. Ronnie is there. He's got it. So Say down the line to handle that foul ball off the bat of Art Howe. 1 away, and here's Gary Woods, the right fielder. Has struck out twice today. So Woods coming on with Landeskog to follow. Gary Woods came into the game hitting .396. He hadn't played too much. This is only his 18th game, but he has 19 hits and 50 at-bats. So Gary Woods coming on here in the 7th inning. Tomorrow it's due to be Vern Rule against Bert Hooton, and remember the game starts at 12:15. Warm-up time will be 11:55. Here's Royce with the pitch. Fastball caught the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. 0-1 the count. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. A high pop foul off to the right out of play. It is strike 2. Meanwhile, Ricky Henderson stole 2 bases today for the Oakland A's to become the 3rd man ever in baseball to steal 100 bases in a season. You know the other 2, of course. Woods takes high for a ball. Maury Wills and Lou Brock. A 1-2 count. So Ricky Henderson of the Oakland A's gets his name in the record books. 100 steals. He's got another day to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and this struck him out for the 3rd time. And so much for platooning. Woods is in there instead of the left-hand batter, Terry Poole. And Woods, a right-hand batter, has struck out 3 times. That's 5 strikeouts for Jerry Royce. Ryan has struck out 8, looking for 1 more to get his 200th of the year. Landeskog coming on, batting in the 7th spot. Ashby batting 8th is due up next. Rafael has grounded out twice, once to Garvey and once to Thomas. Landeskog batting .250, playing shortstop today instead of Craig Reynolds. 2-1 ball game, and the Dodgers won last night's game by a score of 3-2. Here's the look and the pitch on the way. Chop foul behind the plate, strike 1. If the race ends in a deadlock, a 1-game playoff is set for Monday at 1 o'clock here at Dodger Stadium. I'll tell you about tickets for that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. On the way, fouled away to the right. Box and reserve seats for a possible playoff game are on sale at the general public, to the general public at the Dodgers Advance Ticket Office, and on sale the remainder of the weekend as long as the possibility of a playoff exists. They're also available at all Ticketron and Mutual outlets. So if the Dodgers can force a playoff, the game is here Monday. Landeskog swings and misses strike 3. Royce gets 2 in a row. He now has 6 in the game. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th in a moment with a score. Dodgers 2, the Astros 1.
And now here's to all you folks who love nothing more than 9 innings on the diamond. You major leaguers, minor leaguers, yeah, even you beer leaguers. This Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. For being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. This Bud's for you.
Yeah, whether it's slow pitch, fast pitch, or big league baseball, nothing goes better with ball games than Bud. So here's to you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Well, the crowd's standing and having a big time here, singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." As Nolan Ryan gets set to work to the Dodgers, he will go to the bottom of the order: Ferguson, Thomas, and Royce. Joe Ferguson today has struck out twice. Thomas has a single to drive in a big run, and Royce has struck out twice. Ryan has struck out 8 today for 199. And this is probably his last inning of work since he is due to bat second in the top of the 8th inning. So Ryan has 3 more batters in his quest for 200 to make it 5 straight and 8 out of the last 9 years in which he has struck out 200 or more. One of the all-time greats in strikeouts. He's only behind Bob Gibson by 17 before today. He's only 9 behind Gibson now, and he's a cinch to pass him. Joe Ferguson coming on as we play now in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers need 6 more outs to force the decision into the last game of the season tomorrow. Okay, here's Fergie at bat. Joe, last night's hero, one of the heroes, with a home run to win it in the 10th inning off Force. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, strike 1. So Nolan Ryan has spent some glorious years in Southern California. trying to get a big victory today here at Dodger Stadium, but right now he's a run behind, but he still has plenty of time. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Outside with the fastball, it is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The paid attendance today is 46,085 with over 48,000 on hand. Fergie swings again and misses, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Ryan into the windup. And double pumps now, backs off, and Ferguson goes out of the batter's box. Okay, Nolan back on top, Fergie back in there. 2-1 ball game in the 7th. The pitch on the way. Looped into right field. Coming up for it is Woods. Can't play it. Base hit for Ferguson. Joe hit one off the fifth and looped it into right. That is hit number 6 for the Dodgers and brings up Darryl Thomas. Thomas the batter. Darryl singled to drive in a run his first time up, going to left field, and he drove in Garvey and grounded out the next time. We'll see if he's bunting with Royce on deck. They will probably let Darryl swing away. If they have him bunting, it means they're hoping for Lopes to get the run in, and then they might even have a hitter for Lopes and send in Jack Perconti, who goes down the runway and out to loosen up perhaps. So we'll see how the Dodgers begin to play it now here in the 7th inning. Darryl Thomas at bat, and Cabell is up at third looking for the bunt. The pitch is taken low, and Darryl acted as if he was going to bunt. Fergie at first base, not a lot of speed. The Dodgers figure they could stay out of a possible double play, but then they would leave it up to Royce and or Lopes and a pinch hitter, to try to get the run in. Here's the look now, and the pitch go to first base instead. Now that we get in this stage of the game, the Astros have Sambito and Lacorte, and that's their best 1-2 punch in the bullpen. Getting ready down there. Well, Dave Smith's no slouch either. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into right center field. Cedeno will have a play. And coming across is Woods, but Cedeno is there to handle it. So they let Thomas take a swing, but he flies out. Now they can bunt with Royce and hope to get the same results. One away. Royce has struck out twice today. Lopes is due up next, and he comes out on deck, but Johnstone comes up the steps of the runway, way down at the other end, and comes toward the bat rack. And now Jay turns around and is doing some stretching exercises against the dugout wall at the far end down by the camera platform. So Royce will be up there undoubtedly to bunt, try to move him over. Royce, as a bunter this year, has been successful only 4 times. Here's the pitch. It's inside and low, ball 1. So he backed out of there, 1-0. It's tough, especially with the first baseman and the third baseman right down on top of you. Actually, 3 men converging. Landestoy is breaking towards second, Morgan toward first, but here comes the pitcher, the first baseman, and the third baseman trying to crowd that hitter. So he's got to get it down. It's almost a cinch that he's up there to bunt. Here's the look now to throw to first base instead, and Fergie back on the bag. The last half of the 7th inning, Dodgers with a 2-1 lead. And another run would look awfully, awfully big to Jerry Royce right now. All right, Ryan set. Here's the pitch. He's swinging and fouls it away into the stands behind the Dodger dugout. So they let him take a rip with everybody on the move, and Jerry fouled it away. Royce has only 6 hits on the year, 3 runs batted in. One of those hits was a home run. He had 2 on at second and third in the 2nd inning, but he struck out. All right, a 1-1 count. Now we'll see if he's bunting again. He's around, lays it, pops it in the air, foul, back into the stands. So he really bunted that one high, wide, and handsome. Strike 2, ball 1 to Royce. Now we'll see if he goes once more. Ryan walking slowly back to the mound. Ferguson holding at first base, opened the inning with a single. Thomas flied out. Now here's the stretch, the look, and Royce takes high for a ball. He was not bunting that time. 2-2. So the Dodgers are going to let him swing away, leading by a run, hoping maybe to get lucky. They've been lucky a couple times on defense with double play. One, a line drive to Morgan, And the other bouncer right over the mound, slowed down by Royce so that Thomas could play it on the bag. Here's a drive along the left field line, foul. Bounces off the railing and back out to the left fielder, Jose Cruz, who will clear it off. So Royce laid on that fastball, and it's a 2-2 count. 6 strikeouts for Royce and 8 for Ryan today. 6 hits for the Dodgers and 5 for the Astros. The only extra base hit in the game is the margin in the game, the home run by Garvey in the 4th inning. All right, a 2-2 count. Royce waiting. Here's the pitch. Struck him out, and there it is for Ryan, number 200 on the year. And he has now had 8 out of 9 years in which he struck out 200 batters. Royce walking slowly back, and now that the runner is not in scoring position, the Dodgers will not use a pinch hitter. Lopes will come on, and he is 0 for 3, popped it up 3 times. So Ryan, with 9 strikeouts today, now has 3,109 in his illustrious career. One of the game's outstanding strikeout pitchers. Lopes 0 for 3, and Davey hasn't been swinging the bat well. He's physically slowed down with that bad neck. Here's the pitch to him. High, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Bill Verdon standing up in front of the bench. Craig Reynolds is down in the bullpen, also throwing for the Astros in case they want to make a switch on the infield. 1-0 the count to Davey. Lopes with 10 home runs. Pitch to him. Tap to the left side. Now Ryan over to field it. Turns and throws and gets him, and the inning is over. So Lopes bounces out to the pitcher. No runs. 1 hit. 1 left on. At the end of 7, the Dodgers 2 and the Astros have 1.
For many years, Union 76 dealer Fritz Gilbreth's community spirit has been obvious to his customers. But a few years ago, that same spirit became evident to his entire city when he ran for and was elected mayor of Medical Lake, Washington.
The spirit of 76.
When we went on the ballot, we made our platform what we was going to do, and I went as mayor, and we had 5 other gentlemen that went as councilmen, and they made a clean sweep. They elected all of us. This town hall was one of our projects that we worked on, and we worked on a water project for the town, and we developed a new park. I think the biggest trouble with American people is apathy. Let somebody else do it. Right here, we're just going ahead and doing it. We're just doing the things that has to be done.
Fritz Gilbreth, a truly unique 76 dealer with community spirit.
It's always been good and rewarding to me. I like it. I really do.
The spirit of 76.
First blood out of Montreal. Jerry White, a home run for the Expos in the 3rd inning with a man on, and Montreal takes the lead 2-0. Rogers against Christensen, and the Expos are backed up into a corner. They have to win to stay alive. And if they win today, they will have to face Steve Carlton tomorrow in Montreal. Chicago beat Pittsburgh 6-0. New York over St. Louis 5-2. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 3-2 with Pastore getting the win. And it is 3-1. San Francisco over San Diego in the 7th inning.
Second base.
For the Dodgers now change at second base. Jack Percotti goes into play. Chicago beat the Angels 4-2. Toronto over Boston 7-6. First game of a doubleheader. It went 17 innings. And in the second game, no score. The Yankees clinched it. They won over Detroit 5-2. And in the second game, it's tied at 2-2. Oakland beat Milwaukee 4-0. Cleveland and Baltimore now play a meaningless doubleheader tonight at Baltimore. For the Astros now, Ashby will not hit, and Terry Poole is going to bat for him. So Poole will come in. Poole did not start the game because he's a left-hand hitter. So Poole, who is the Astros' top home run hitter with 13, now will pinch hit for Ashby. And out on deck is Jeff Leonard to bat for Ryan as we go to the 8th inning. And put Percotti in at second base. Time as Percotti will get some sunglasses from the bat boy. Percotti playing second in the 8th inning. Davey, of course, playing under duress with a stiff neck. So they put Percotti in to shore up the defense a little bit. LaCourte is throwing in the bullpen alone for the Astros as we go to play in the 8th inning. Dodgers leading 2-1. And trying to stay alive in the pennant race. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss to Poole. Strike one. Royce has struck out 6, walked 1. Ryan has struck out 9 and has not walked anyone. Ryan, of course, walks a lot of people, but today none. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Fastball to Poole. 0-2. So Terry Poole quickly in the hole. Jeff Leonard due up next. Jerry Royce trying to get his 7th strikeout. Here's the pitch on the way. He's a little high with it. Poole started to go, held up, and it's just a little outside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play. 1-2 still up there. One ball, 2 strikes. Royce working to the left-hand pinch hitter, Terry Poole, and the pitch is a broken bat foul back out of play. Sawed that one off, and Poole will have to get a new stick. 2-1. We're in the 8th inning. The Dodgers leading on the strength of Steve Garvey's home run in the 4th. Waiting for Poole to come back with a new bat. He broke that one. And the bat boy picks up the old one from umpire Jerry Crawford. And here comes Poole walking slowly back up. Poole with 13 home runs and 54 RBIs. He has 11 game-winning hits. All right, Poole is back in again, and Royce trying to punch him out, as the players would say, which means a strikeout. Here's the 1-2 offering. Struck him out. So Poole goes down on strikes. That is 7 strikeouts for Royce. Here's another pinch hitter. This will be Leonard. Jeff Leonard, the batter. Leonard as a hitter this year, batting .215. 3 home runs, 20 RBIs, and he was a prime candidate last year for Rookie of the Year. Remember how he and Sutcliffe went down to the wire? For Royce now, that's his seasonal high of strikeouts, 7. So Royce, who is also looking for his 18th win, has now punched out 7 Astros. Here's the pitch to Leonard. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Royce's career high is 12. He did that in 1975 against San Diego while he was with the Pirates. All right, strike 1 count. Leonard, a right-hand hitter. Checks on a sinker a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers need 5 more outs to make the season go to the final day. 1-1. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Good fastball. After Leonard, it will be Joe Morgan, the leadoff man. And in the 9th, if nobody gets on, it'll be Cabell and Cruz and Cedeno. Next pitch high for a ball, 2-2. So Royce trying to turn him back now. He has retired 6 in a row since Cabell singled. He got a double play off Cruz, the very next hitter. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Too high, ball free. Just missed with a fastball. Royce has walked only 1. He walked the first batter in the game, Joe Morgan. So he certainly doesn't want to walk Leonard at this spot and bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Up for it is Guerrero. Lost it. Now goes back and makes the catch. Guerrero had trouble tracking that one. The sun is getting tough as it gets lower in the sky, and the fog does not help any, and Guerrero had to retreat for that ball. Stayed with it to make the play. Here's Morgan at bat, and boy, a sigh of relief from the fans here. They saw Guerrero come ambling over for what appeared to be a routine fly ball, and then all of a sudden dart back to his left and get it with one hand going away. Joe Morgan walked, grounded out, lined into a double play. Little Joe, 11 homers, 49 RBIs. Royce ready to pitch, but Morgan had backed out, so time is called. There are 2 outs in the 8th inning. Well, you know what happened last night, so don't you dare leave it. The ball game went right down to the last out. Castillo and Howe are throwing in the Dodger bullpen just in case they are needed. Here's the pitch. A little high. Ball one. Royce this year has 9 complete games. The Dodgers staff 23, so he's had a lot to do about that. The 1-0 pitch to Morgan. Pop foul. That'll be back upstairs right below us. And it's 1-1. Royce also has 6 shutouts, but his shutout went out the window in the 4th inning when Guerrero lost the pop fly by Howe in the haze and the sunlight. And it fell in front of him for a single to get the run home from third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little Joe Morgan, a clutch player if there ever was one. Here's the pitch on the way. That's a little low for a ball. 2-1. Morgan playing with his left knee heavily taped. He twisted it last night and is going back to the bag on a pickoff throw by Don Sutton. 2 outs. Morgan, the leadoff man. He's helped to lead the Astros all the way to this spot. A 2-game lead, which the Dodgers hope will melt to a 1-game lead. Here's the pitch. Tapper back to the mound. Royce has it, turns and throws him out. And the Astros are gone in the 8th. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the 9th in a moment with the score. Dodgers 2, the Astros 1.
Farmer John did it again. In fact, he outdid even himself at the 1980 California State Fair that recently concluded in Sacramento. This year, Farmer John entered a record number of his products, 23, and all 23 won Consumer Reaction Award medallions. The basis for awarding a medallion is taste appeal, the criterion you use in determining whether you like a certain food. The taste testing is conducted under the rigid supervision of the Fair's Consumer Reaction Council. All products are coded, no brand names are revealed. The judges are consumers like you, hundreds of fairgoers. After sampling a food, each judge writes down his or her opinion of its taste on a questionnaire. Only if the product receives a favorable response from at least 95% of the judges is it awarded a Consumer Reaction Award medallion. Again now, all 23 Farmer John entries at this year's California State Fair won award medallions. Another endorsement of the exceptional taste appeal you can expect in the products from Farmer John.
All right, we move along into the bottom of the 8th inning, but let's pause first for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is Gerald Thomas of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Keep up to date on sports with your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
One of the all-time great Dodgers, Willie Davis, dropping by to see us. Willie D is a manager in the Mexican League, and he's coming by to say hello out here to Rudy's old teammate so long. Willie D, boy, does he look good. The 3-dog can still fly, I bet you. Well, we have some changes for the Astros now. LaCourte will be the new pitcher. He will bat first. Reynolds will play shortstop and bat ninth. And Landeskog will move over to second base. Meanwhile, on the scoreboard, it is Montreal 2 and Philadelphia 0, playing in the 4th inning. A game that was delayed for 3 hours because of rain. Well, it's sure good to see the 3-dog. Willie Davis. Yeah, he's the manager. Well, I tell you what, he was one of the most happy-go-lucky, carefree ball players I ever knew. And you wouldn't think of Willie Davis as a manager, nor would you have thought about Don Zimmer being a manager. But Don turned out to be a very successful one. And who knows, Willie D just might be in the same mold. Okay, we've given you those changes. Here's the new catcher. Pujols is doing the catching. So Pujols, the catcher, and LaCourte doing the pitching. LaCourte is 8-4 on the year, 2.81 earned run average. And here's Rick Monday to face him in the bottom of the 8th inning. LaCourte has been an outstanding relief man for the Astros this year. His first pitch is high, ball 1. He has 11 saves. In 80 innings, he's allowed only 25 earned runs. Frank LaCourte from Gilroy up north. 1-0 count to Monday, and today Rick is 0 for 3. Struck out twice and flied out. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and it is 1-1. Ryan chalking up 9 strikeouts to hit 200 right on the nose for the 5th straight year, and 8 out of 9. Rogers gets the Phillies out in the 4th inning. Montreal still leading in their pressure-packed ball game at the Big O in Montreal. Here, a 1-1 count. Rick Monday, the batter. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Dodgers leading 2-1 in another great ball game. Boy, these teams have really put on some shows. Swing and a miss for Monday, 1-2. Over the past several years, at least a half a dozen or more, the Dodgers and the Astros always play them close to the vest. Very seldom is there a lopsided ball game between these two teams. All right, it is a 1-2 count to Monday as LaCourte gets set. Reads Pujols. A swing and a miss, and Mundy strikes out for the 3rd time today. LaCourte gets his first strikeout. 8 of the 16 games this year have been decided by 1 run between these two clubs. And each side has won 4. Well, that's about as close as you can cut it. 8 one-run games out of 16, and I bet you there wasn't too much difference in the rest of them. Ryan worked a strong 7 innings, allowed 2 runs and 6 hits, struck out 9, and did not walk about it. Here's Baker. Dusty looks at a slider, too high, ball 1. Dusty is 0 for 3, fly ball deep to center his last time up. Here's the pitch, and Baker low, ball 2 to Dusty. Dusty waiting. Now the pitch. Checked and it's high. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls, no strikes. And LaCourte delivers. Fouled away. They let him swing on a 3-0 count. Here's LaCourte to the windup and the pitch to Dusty. High pop fly, playable on the left side. Reynolds angling out. Cruz, who was deep, coming in, but Reynolds is stationed under it. And it's 2 away. Baker pops up. Here's Garvey now on the verge of making another baseball historical note for the Dodgers. 3 for 3 today. He's hit in 9 straight. He has 199 hits and trying to lead the league in hits for the 2nd time. And trying to get 200 for the 6th time in his career. And the 1 year that he missed, he had 192. And Garvey is at bat. He had a single, a home run, and a single against Ryan. And he has 9 hits and 18 at bats against Ryan on the year. All right, LaCourte to Garvey with 2 out. Curveball is on the corner for a strike, 0-1. So Steve needs 1 more hit. He'd like to get it right now. He has tomorrow's game, and he hopes he'll have Monday's game. Time call. Garvey backs out. He is undoubtedly one of the greatest hitters to ever wear a Dodger uniform. Undoubtedly. All right, the 0-1 pitch on the way to Garvey. Fly ball on the right side, going out for it, Landeskog. He turns and makes the catch, and the inning is over. So the Dodgers will go to the 9th inning with what they have. And what they have is the Dodgers 2, the Astros 1.
What does Car and Driver magazine say about the 1980 Datsun 510?
Engineers chose the finest designs and components to achieve incredible performance goals.
Incredible? Not for Datsun's 510. Listen to Car and Driver again.
Higher fuel economy, better drivability, and increased horsepower.
The Datsun 510 with the revolutionary NAPC engine. Better mileage from less gas than last year. EPA estimated with 5-speed, 30 mpg top city driving, 42 mpg highway. Use 30 mpg for comparison. Your mileage may differ. Highway mileage will probably be less, but this is sure. The Datsun 510s, sedans or wagons, get better gas mileage than 280 other cars.
It's a long way to empty. In a Datsun 3R7.
A long way to bring you more power from less gas in the 1980 Datsun 510.
The fans are standing again, as they did last night in the ninth inning at Dodger Stadium. And the Dodgers make two changes in the outfield. Mickey Hatcher goes to right field for Rick Mundy. Rudy Law goes to left field for Dusty Baker. Guerrero stays in center. Mercante, of course, is now playing second base, and Royce is tuning up to go to the heart of the Astro lineup. Cabell, Cruz, and Cedeno with Howell to follow. And after that, Gary Woods. So the Dodgers make those defensive changes, and Hatcher has a tough job. He's playing the Sun field. And at this time of day, it's a tough spot. Guerrero almost had one get by him in the eighth inning when Leonard drove one into right center field. Enos Cabell coming on has had 2 hits in 3 at-bats today. And ironically, Cabell and Royce are neighbors in Anaheim Hills. They might not be speaking to one another, but they're neighbors. They do speak, though, of course. All right, Cabell standing by. Top of the ninth. And the Dodgers need 3 more outs to send the season into its final day. And it looks like the Expos are trying to do the same thing against the Phillies at Montreal. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. To Cabell. So the crowd trying to be a part of it. And Jerry Royce trying to give them something to really cheer about here in the ninth inning. 1 strike count. Big Enos steps out. 2 homers, 55 runs batted in for the year. Royce checking signs into the windup and delivers. Ground ball to the right side. Mercante there. Scoops up, throws, gets it. 1 away. Cabell is out on a tricky little roller to the second baseman. That'll bring on Jose Cruz, who beat the Dodgers in Houston the last meeting there with an extra inning home run to right field off Rick Sutcliffe. So Cruz is the batter with Cedeno due up next. And then Art Howe. Art Howe's already out there on deck also. So the Astros have 2 of them on deck. Here's the pitch, fouled away. Strike 1 for Cruz. He has 1 hit. He singled in the 4th, stole second, took 3rd on a ground out, and scored on a pop fly that fell in front of Guerrero in shallow center field. 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch to Cruz. Fly ball to center, and Guerrero comes up. He lost it. Now he's coming. He's got it. Guerrero hesitated for a moment. He had a tough time with it, and he was able to handle it. So there are 2 outs, and they're going crazy here at Dodger Stadium again. 1 more for the Dodgers, and standing between them and the win, Cesar Cedeno, who has hit against Jerry Royce very well this year. Cedeno against the Dodgers, and against Royce in particular, is 5 for 11. All right, the Dodgers trying to make it a little bit closer. 2 away in the ninth inning. Jerry Royce to Cedeno. Here's the pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Royce has walked 1. He has struck out 7. It is 2-1. The Dodgers need 1 more out. Cedeno is the batter with Howe on deck. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. Ground foul off to the left and out of play. 1-1. Strike. Here's Royce to the windup. Here it is. Fly ball into right center field. Mercante going out as fast as he can. It drops for a base hit. And the Astros are still alive as Cedeno boots one into right center field. And here is Art Howe, who has been a tough guy against the Dodgers. Howe is 4 for 12 against Royce this year. Art Howe today singled with a blooper into center field to drive in a run. We'll see if the Astros try to steal with Cedeno the tying run. That might be a big one. All right, We're in the ninth with 2 out. A bloop single to center by Cedeno, who is their leading base stealer with 46. He's on at first. Would he dare try to go with Art Howe? The last hope for the Astros, and they're going crazy here. All right. The Astros trying to keep it alive. And Royce ready to do the work. Here's the arm stretch and the look. The check of Cedeno, the pitch. A strike. 0-1. Cedeno is not on the move. That would be quite a gamble if the Astros did decide to have him run. All right, it is strike 1 to Howe. Everybody's on their feet here. Nobody's sitting down. Here's the pitch. High for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, and 2 men out. Once again, Royce up with the arm. Here's the look, and here's the pitch. Swing, and a miss, strike 2. Howe has struck out. He has singled to drive in a run. He has fouled out. He is hitting .278. 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Listen to the noise here at Dodger Stadium. All right, Royce ready. 1-2. Are we going to go to the last day of the season, or aren't we? We'll see in a minute. The 1-2 pitch. Cedeno goes foul down the right field line. So they played hit and run. And it's a 1 ball and 2 strike count. As Cedeno cuts back across the diamond to first base, and Art Howe will hang in there. 1-2. Jerry Royce trying to have a great year. He won 18 games in 1975. He's trying to win 18 games 5 years later in a different uniform. 1-2. 2 outs. Cedeno, a fleet-footed runner at first base. Here's the stretch. Here's the look. And here's the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Guerrero coming up. And it drops in front of him for a base hit. Here's Cedeno with a big turn as Guerrero runs the ball all the way back to the infield. And Howe with a loop single to center, almost a carbon copper wheel, the one he had in the 4th inning. It falls in, and now they will leave it up to the rookie, Gary Wood, as Cedeno races to third base. 2 little pop flies that kept the Astro hopes alive here in the 9th inning. And here's Gary Woods coming up, and Red Adams coming out to the mound to have a little word with Jerry Royce. Woods, who has been a big hitter for the Astros in the last several weeks, but today has gone 0 for 3. He has struck out every time. So Cedeno got 2 strikes. Howe got 2 strikes, and they both were able to bloop the ball just over the infield. Guerrero came as fast as he could, but couldn't get up to Howe's ball. They had to play him deep, of course, not to let a ball get over his head. All right, Gary Woods will be the batter, and he now is standing there as a lone hope. We'll have a runner at first base for Howe. It will be Bergman running for Howe, and he carries the go-ahead run. Top of the 9th inning. Boy, what excitement. What a series. Last night, the Dodgers pulled it out. Today, the Astros are trying to do it and pop the champagne. Okay, here's Gary Woods, who came in with a .396 batting average. After Woods, it will be Landeskog's spot. Here's the stretch by Royce, and the pitch on the way. Ground ball to the right side. Perconti up with a throw. He got it. Dodgers win. Perconti sitting to his left, grabbed that ground ball and fired to first base, and the Dodgers have beaten the Astros 2 straight. We'll have the totals on the ball game coming up after this message.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day.
This bud's for you. You know that nothing less than best can make it all the way. So here's to you. There's no one else who does it quite
Busch, St. Louis.
Well, a lot of things went on here today. The Dodgers beat the Astros by a score of 2-1. The total's 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. For the Astros, 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher is Royce, who gets his 18th win. The second season that he's won 18. He won 18 in 1975. And Nolan Ryan is the loser. He's now 11-10. And Steve Garvey had 3 base hits in the game, including a home run in the 4th inning that gave the Dodgers their 2nd run. And that was enough to beat the Astros and pull the Dodgers to within 1 and set it up for a big showdown tomorrow with Bert Hooton due to go against Vern Rule. Rule has been outstanding for the Astros. He has won 12, lost 4, earned run average at 2.41. And for Happy Hooton, he will be coming on in perhaps one of the biggest games of his career. Hooton has won 14 games and lost 8 and has an earned run average of 3.63. So the Dodgers pull it out, and with 2 men on base in the bottom of the 9th inning, Royce gets a ground ball out of Gary Wood. And down below, the Dodgers have Steve Garvey out on the field. Jerry Royce, I'm sure, will be out there in a few moments. Garvey's home run is the difference. And Jerry and Steve are going on national TV, and, of course, we'll have them on our post-game show a little bit later on. So the Dodgers have now made it 2 straight over the Astros and 9-8 on the year. And this was a real thriller again all the way. The Dodger first run came, 3 singles. Garvey, Guerrero, and Darrell Thomas drove one down the left field line the opposite way to get a big one there. So now tomorrow it'll be Hooton against Rule, and the season will boil down right down to that one. And if the Dodgers win tomorrow, they'll play another one here on Monday, and they will have Ghost going against Necro. So once again, the final score of the game, the Dodgers 2, the Astros 1. Now this is Jerry Doggett for Vin Scully and Ross Porter, inviting you to stay tuned for the post-game show coming right up. Dodger Baseball was brought to you by Datsun, who would like to remind you that it's a long way to empty in a Datsun. A long way. By the brewers of Michelob Light. Compare the taste of Michelob Light to any beer you like. By Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. And by Farmer John, the only packer who provides you with Eastern corn-fed pork and pork sausage that's strictly fresh and at Tikka flavor, as well as bacon, ham, hot dogs, luncheon meats, and other fine meat products. Farmer John.
To win a brand new 1981 Ford Escort. We're giving one away at Burge Ford absolutely free. Just come on in and register. And while you're here, take a look at Ford's world of better ideas for 1981. Cars and trucks built to take on the world. Business is good at Burge Ford and getting better. We've got the cars and the deals to meet any challenge from any part of the world. Come in and let us prove it. We'll make it happen for you at 256 East Main in Mesa. And don't forget that free Escort. Just call 834-1111 for details.
Let them show you, and we know you'll drive a Burge Ford, come what may.
I'm Ross Porter of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The next best thing to being at Dodger Stadium is your Dodger station, KTAR Phoenix.
Blind and successful? Well, we're here to tell you. There are lots of us all over the country. We're blind, but we're just like you.
I'm a public relations consultant and a fundraising consultant. I saw an announcement from the Federation. I responded to it and was put in contact with the local affiliate of the Federation. Working with them, I learned that I wasn't in the boat alone trying to find work, that there was widespread employment discrimination for the blind. And that helped me. It buoyed my spirits and gave me a more positive, persevering outlook in my job hunt. got a job and got another one after that, and I'm on my third one now. All of them ended successfully, moving on up the ladder. It's due to the Federation in a very large extent.
For further information, get in touch with your local affiliate of the National Federation of the Blind, or contact me, Kenneth Jernigan, President, National Federation of the Blind, 1800 Johnson Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230.
A word from the National Federation of the Blind and KTAR News Radio. Time now for the Los Angeles Dodgers postgame show with a recap of the game and scores from all around the league. And for the most complete sports coverage in the Southwest all week long, listen for the largest radio sports team. Dave Tennell, George Allen, and Jim Peterson on 620 KTAR News Radio.
No matter what happens tomorrow, it has been a magnificent day. It has been a magnificent weekend. If you're old enough to remember the war, you might remember that signal, the V for victory. What it really means in Los Angeles now is not so much V, but 2. The Dodgers have reduced it all down to tomorrow. If they can win tomorrow, then there's the playoff game on Monday. A reminder, tomorrow, a 12:15 game. It will be Bert Hooton and Vern Rule. The Dodgers did what they had to do, and for a young and somewhat inexperienced Houston ball club, they suddenly realized it's never easy. Never. And the Dodgers are the first to admit that. The Astros looked like they had a lock. They had a 3-game lead and 3 games to play. And certainly coming to Los Angeles, it wasn't too much to ask to win one of the first 2, and that would be that. Especially against the Dodger team that had won, but that had played so poorly in San Francisco. But the Dodgers, getting magnificent pitching and timely hitting, have been able to steal 2 on Houston, and now suddenly it is not a shadow of a doubt the cold reality is faced by the Astros that suddenly the Dodgers have done it. They've come from the dead, or whatever you want to call it, and now reduced it to the game that Bert Hooton must pitch against the Astros' best tomorrow, Vern Rule. Rule is 12-4. He's the boy who came out of virtual obscurity to fill the gap created by the absence of James Rodney Richard. So Vern Rule and Bert Hooton tomorrow. What a story. But what a story today. And the 2 leading characters are pitcher Jerry Royce and Steve Garvey. It was Royce who went all the way to win his 18th, the ex-Astro, and it was Garvey's home run that turned out to be the difference. We'll have both of them with Ross right after this.
Joe, wake up. Why did you buy such a noisy clock?
Noisy? It's just a normal ticking.
Well, it sounds like Big Ben to me.
Why don't you go back to sleep?
I can't get to sleep. I took an aspirin, too.
Aspirin? But that's for a headache. Try Compose. It's great when occasionally you can't get to sleep. Yeah, I think I might have some.
Headache? Take aspirin. Sleepless night? Take Compose. C-O-M-P-O-Z. Taken as directed before you go to bed, Compose helps make you drowsy so you can fall asleep when you want to fall asleep at bedtime.
Martha, time to get up.
Oh, is it morning already?
What were you saying about not being able to get to sleep?
Oh, not after you gave me that Compose. It really helped me doze off.
It's Compose for you.
Headache? Take aspirin. Sleepless night? Take Compose. C-O-M-P-O-Z. Take only as directed. Compose is available at all drug counters.
Well, it seems to be several heroes a day at Dodger Stadium this weekend, and today, 2 of the notables right here, Jerry Royce and Steve Garvey. Jerry, it looked like after you got out of the first inning today that you pretty much had things going your way with the help of those 3 double plays.
Well, I kept the ball down, kept away from a big inning, and I got the plays when I needed them. A couple of 3 double plays, you said. We got just enough runs, and I kept the runners off base. That's really the key to winning anytime, as long as your team scores more runs.
9th inning, runners at first and third, 2 out, and Red comes out to talk to you. What did he say?
He said, just relax you a little bit. That's all.
You struck Gary Woods out 3 straight times. What'd you do to get him on the last play?
Well, same pitch I've been throwing all day to him was a fastball, and he hit it just hard enough to stay in the infield and for the infielder to make the play to first base.
Steve, you had not hit a home run against Houston all year. By hitting one today, I think you homered against every club in the league, didn't you?
Well, I hadn't realized that statistic, but I'd rather have hit it today than in April or in July against the Astros. Again, I just can't say enough about two very important parts, and that's the Dodgers and the fans. They've been tremendous, and I'll never forget what they've done for us, not only throughout the season, but the last 2 days.
How about Nolan Ryan today? Pretty good stuff?
Well, Nolan is always tough. I don't care whether he feels he's off or not. He's going to throw a good hard curveball and a good fastball that runs, and I was fortunate to have good timing with the home run and be able to hit the ball around on him. I've had some luck this year, and he's had some luck in the past.
What did you hit?
Hit a fastball. He threw a curveball the first pitch for a ball, and I knew they'd try to throw something hard inside next, and he got it more over the plate than he expected, and I was able to hit it.
Does it make a difference to you to lead off on anything like that? Does it give you a chance to be more of a gas hitter?
Well, not really. What I want to do in that situation, hit the ball where it's pitched more than anything else, because I want to get on base and start a rally. But in that situation, looking for fastball, you might as well try to drive it. And I was fortunate again to get what I looked for.
Jerry, what about the factor of the fans today? Did they fire you up any?
Yeah, they fired me up quite a bit. It's exciting to hear people like this. I've heard it in other places, but not this many, this loud. And I enjoy it. I like to hear the people come out here and cheer for us because it gets me going, regardless of what other players say. I'd love to hear it, especially when they're on our side.
You've beaten the Astros 4 straight times this year. A pesky ball club for you to pitch to, have you found?
Well, they're a good ball club. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are. There's no club that you can take advantage of or that you can take for granted because it just doesn't help when you do that. They're a good ball club. There's no question about it. They've got the kind of club you just have to keep them from getting a big inning.
You pitched strongly today with 3 days rest. You weren't concerned about that going in, were you?
You know, I never gave it a thought until somebody said something about it. And then I said, well, what the heck? You know, nothing I can do about it because I still got to go out there and pitch.
Very nice going. Thanks for visiting with us, and maybe we'll see you again in the playoffs.
I hope so, Ross.
All right. Steve, we've talked about this over the years. You thrive on pressure situations like this, don't you?
Well, that's what the game of baseball is all about to me. I enjoy it. I enjoy the pressure situations. I want to be up with the runners on base. I don't know. Maybe it's my makeup, but I just want those situations, and I've been able to come through.
All right, the Dodgers came into the series knowing they had to win 4 in a row. Now that's been chopped in half. It's down to 2. Will the Astros be thinking a little bit more about that tonight in the hotel?
Well, I would if I was them. I know that they have a one-game lead, but we've got momentum. And our chances have now just been split in half. And I think that's good odds, especially when you're playing at your own ballpark. And when you're playing here, we have a run advantage because you go to the bottom of the ninth and end it with sudden death. So, again, I've been in their position before, and I would be concerned if I was them. And I know one thing. We're going to come out aggressive tomorrow.
Steve, thanks very much. Congratulations on the big hit.
Always a pleasure. Hi to Cindy and the girls.
Jerry Rice and Steve Garvey, they've been our guests. We'll have more right after this.
Don't worry, America. Spray and Wash has gotten out more food, grease, and dirt than any other stain remover. Because year after year, more Americans buy Spray and Wash. So let Spray and Wash get out what you get into. Just try our non-aerosol trigger and our economy squeeze bottle. And pretty soon, you too may be singing. Spray and Wash gets out what America gets into.
Oh, this cold sore.
Stop hurting. Start healing that cold sore now. Use the medication that concentrates on you. Campho-Phenique. Campho-Phenique concentrates full-strength medication right on your sore, stops pain instantly, and forms an emollient germ-killing shield to help speed healing. For cold sores, fever blisters, and lip sores, Campho-Phenique, in liquid or in gel.
It concentrates on you.
Use only as directed.
The Dodgers and their sponsors are pleased to present our guest a gift certificate from Sears. Now save $15 on Sears 7x35 binoculars, just $39.99 at Sears. On the scoreboard, there is another very big ball game very much alive. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning in Montreal, and Montreal is leading Philadelphia 2-1. Larry Christensen and Steve Rogers. It's a must-win situation for Montreal. Jerry White hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, his 6th of the year. They had a 3-hour rain delay, which is why they're only in the 5th inning at 10 minutes past 7 in Montreal. It should be cold and damp up there, and the most important game of the year for the Expos on the line. To repeat, Montreal 2, Philadelphia 1 in the 5th inning. The other scores turn out to be window dressing. Chicago shut out Pittsburgh 6-0. McLaughlin over Perez. Buckner hit his 10th. The Mets 5, the Cardinals 2. Baumback over Little. Brooks and Hernandez home runs. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 3-2. Pastore over Alexander. Murphy and Foster home runs. And the Giants beat San Diego 4-2. Griffin over Stabline. Evans hit his 20th. We'll have the American League scores after this.
It's the...
Only Birds Ford makes it happen. Only Birds Ford leads the way. Let them show you, and we know you'll drive a Birds Ford come what may.
How would you like to win a brand new 1981 Ford Escort? We're giving one away at Burge Ford absolutely free. Just come on in and register. And while you're here, take a look at Ford's World of Better Ideas for 1981. Cars and trucks built to take on the world. Business is good at Burge Ford and getting better. We've got the cars and the deals to meet any challenge from any part of the world. Come in and let us prove it. We'll make it happen for you at 256 East Main in Mesa. And don't forget that free escort. Just call 834-1111 for details.
Let them show you, and we know you'll drive a Birds Ford come what may.
In the American League, it is Chicago 4, California 2, with Trout beating Tanana. Morrison hit his 15. Toronto beat Boston 7-6 in 17 innings, the first of two games. Leo beat Stanley. Woods, Bunnell, Mosby, Hancock, and Evans home runs. Second game, Toronto leading Boston 1-0 in the fourth inning. The Yankees beat Detroit 5-2. That clinches the American League East pennant for New York. And would you believe the irony of it? Not that the winning pitcher for the Yankees was May, but the losing pitcher for Detroit happens to be named Weaver. Reggie Jackson hit his 41st home run of the year. In the meaningless second game, Detroit's leading 3-2 at the end of 6. Oakland shut out Milwaukee 4-0. Lacey beat Haas. Henderson, the third man in history to have stolen 100 bases. Ricky stole 2 today. It's 1-1 Cleveland-Baltimore in the fifth inning, but now Baltimore is just playing out the string. Seattle, Texas tonight, and Minnesota and Kansas tonight. So those are the scores from around the league. Well, friends, it has been a magnificent day, a great weekend, and a most exciting season. And, of course, tomorrow the Dodgers and the Astros this time put it all on the line. All of the pressure had been on the Dodgers, but now it will be equally shared amongst the Astros because they suddenly find themselves in a must-win situation. It's Bert Hooton and Vern Rule, and I have a confession to make. I won't be here. Unfortunately, as my schedule has me doing a football game down in Anaheim, and my mind and my eyes and all of my senses will be in Anaheim, boy, will my heart ever be here at Dodger Stadium. Hope you'll be here. Hope you'll find out about tomorrow, and then if it be so, why, it'll be my pleasure to be talking to you again on Monday. So we'll see. But right now, that'll do it for today from Dodger Stadium as the Dodgers nip the Astros 2-1.